the show and we'll fly. You don't have to feel like you're on your own. No one should have to dance alone, not tonight. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no day if you wanna ride away. We just have to try to play. Second drills up in the memory bank. I've been looking for somebody to make memories in a bank forever in time. There's no reason to be hard to find, 'cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no day if you wanna ride away. We just have you trying to play. Second drills up in the memory bank.
Good evening on the APAC server, good afternoon on the EU server, and good morning to the people watching from the NA server. This is Wildman's Helper, and I'm presenting the Blitz X Cup, the first day of the Blitz X Cup. Lots of excitement going on, of course. Blitz X Cup, don't mind me doing a lot of X puns during the stream because I can't help it. It's a very good opportunity to do some of these, but it's such an exceptional experience to be involved in this tournament. So without further ado, let's talk about not the Blitzmasters Resistance format. Why did I forget to change the title of this? That's a bit embarrassing, but the format is the same. So we have the group stage. Okay, no, sorry, that's the That's the wrong format. What have I done? Okay. That's a bit embarrassing. I'm so sorry. This is a double elimination format. There is a group stage, but it's not a double elimination format. It's a round robin format, so I don't know what happened there. But a mistake happening there, but it's fine. It's double elimination with 4 teams in this bracket. The team that loses 2 rounds exit the tournament. All games are played in the best of 7 series except for the grand final. That will be in the best of 9, but we are not following the grand final tonight, and that will be tomorrow. How about the prize pool split? It is as follows. The APAC server, the first place will get $45,000, second place $26,000, third place $13,000, and the fourth place with $6,000, the same as the North American server. For the EU server, it's a bit different, but we're not going to dive into that because we're not streaming the EU server today. So, how do we get the 4 teams in this tournament? So looking back at the professionals tournament, we decide the first 2 teams in the Blitz X Cup as they finished the top 2 in the leaderboard, and they are GB and Rory, otherwise known as Team Notorious, both having 6 round wins and 5 round wins respectively. And then we have RISQ, ICFC Arc, and Team ID joining the playoffs, where 2 remaining teams will be decided in the Blitz X Cup, and they are RISQ and ICFC, as they came top 2 in the playoff stage. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to Team ID and ARC. They were very close, and I hope they are watching the stream tonight, trying to get some prizes. But other than that, let's take a look at the timeline. So today is 16th, and today is the first day of the Blitz X Cup on the APAC server, and tomorrow is going to be the final day of the Blitz X Cup on the APAC server, and a couple of days later, the 20th, will mark the beginning of the Blitz X Cup on the EU server. So thank you, Tolian, for the lovely schedule graphics as always. So besides watching the Blitz X Cup streams, there are quick tournaments happening basically on every day except for Wednesday. So you can definitely make a team with your friends. They don't have to be in the same clan for the quick tournaments. So feel free to make up a team from different clans. So have fun in quick tournaments. It's a really great bonding experience, I have to say. There is also the arena competition. Might need some more information about. You might see some more information about that later. Maybe there is information that I'm not aware of. Anyways, let's take a look at the bracket for the Blitz X Cup. The next match will happen around 15 minutes, of course, with stream delay. This is going to be this is going to have 3-minute delay. So in real time, the match is going to start in 12 minutes, but in stream time, that's going to be in 15 minutes. So we will have GV versus RISQ. That will be streamed by me and Pyroblast. Pyroblast will be streaming in Russian, and then we have Nino following Rory versus ICFC. And looking at the rundown, let's take a look at the maps here. The upper bracket first round, in around 40 minutes. The maps are Dynasty's Pearl, Lagoon, Winter Moyanovka, and Black Girl Field. And I will go through, and we will actually go through these maps in more detail as the stream progresses. But just a really quick rundown for this slide. And for the lower bracket first round, which will happen at 5 minutes past 8 UTC plus 8. The maps are Canal, Desert Sands, Maya Ruins, and Alpenstadt. And finally, the upper bracket final will happen at 10 past 9 in Hong Kong time. Vineyards, Oasis Palms, Molen Dyke, and Hellas will be the maps for this round. So, introducing a little bit of the clans here. There are 4 clans that will be following tonight. let's take a look at ICFC. So ICFC is a Chinese clan, and the main team members play on both Chinese and APAC servers. ICFC has won 3 overall champions of the year on the Chinese server, and they won their first ever tournament season on the APAC server last season, beating Team ID 5-1 if I remember correctly. They were established in 2016, and they all love play Genshin Impact. Sorry to say the kind of the game name on the stream, but probably this is my only chance to do something like that. And their expectation for the Blitz X Cup is to be an annual champion on the APAC server. So, of course, aiming to be a champion this season again, trying to defend their champion as they should. And they make use of their training sections to practice and improve tactics with the top 8 teams in across different servers. So they are definitely training hard for this stage. And then let's take a look at RISQ. RISQ is an international clan from Asia, Oceania, North America, and Europe, so all over the place. So this might be why they told me that they cannot train a lot due to bad scheduling, but I'm very, very sure they are training intensively in the last couple of days in the run-up to the Blitz X Cup. So, about the history of this clan, they were formed in 2022 out of Feast. As you all know, Feast is one of their legendary clans. They represented the APAC server in the offlines for 2 times, if I remember correctly. And they won 6 out of 8 seasons in 2022 and 2023. Definitely a big contender for the win in the Blitz X Cup. And they last won a season in the 2023 autumn season. Of course, their aim is to win the Blitz X Cup, and well, the first time I asked them for like the intro about their team, they said they attempted telepathy. I didn't get any updates in 2023 and 2024, and maybe they will tell me more about that. Maybe in the next couple of hours, I don't know. Next clan we're going through will be Rory. So Rory, otherwise known as Notorious, is an international clan including players from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Mongolia. So coming from different areas of Asia. The clan was established in 2018 by Rory Mercury, and the original team played in 2019 to 2020. This team, Notorious, was created in 2021 and came as high as 2nd place in 2022 summer under the clan tag P1. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm very sure it's P1 they are talking about. And they hope to make Rory more active and bring it back to his former glory. So unlike the last 2 clans, they aren't setting the bar very high. And the average team age is around 19, with many being students at the moment. And they make use of the training sessions to make new strategies and experiment with different tanks and positions. And they put an emphasis on communication and teamwork. Right, and finally, GV, the Great Viet team. It's a Vietnamese-speaking clan, and they participated in professional tournaments since 2017. They last won the season in 2022 spring, and they first started off as MIB, otherwise known as Men in Black. Alright, so of course, it's a Wild Ones Helper stream, so definitely I'm going to show you the predictions of the supercomputer Mabox. So, upper bracket first round, we have GV versus RISQ and Rory versus ICFC. Mabox has predicted GV and ICFC to go through to the next round, both on a tiebreaker. The odds are very, very close, so I am adamant we're going to be seeing some really, really close games. And looking at the power rating, which Mabox uses primarily to do the predictions, you can see the current top 4 is exactly the top 4 we are seeing here. And in terms of on paper, GV is has the highest chances of winning the Blitz X Cup outright. But will that be the case? We'll find out tomorrow. Of course, the most important thing is to get rewards. Of course, a lot of you are trying to get rewards, so I'm not going to put the links on the slides because you can't click the link on my stream. So if you want to find a link to the portal, they are listed in the live chat, pinned in the live chat. They are also in the description, and they can also be found on the Wargaming's official Discord server. However, if you access the stream in-game, you will be directed to the YouTube video, so don't do that. You won't get any rewards by watching the stream on YouTube. Okay, so once you get into the portal, you must enable the targeted cookies. These sets of cookies are responsible for making the stream visible in the portal. Otherwise, you will only see a grey screen, and the counter won't start counting. Also, of course, you must log in on your in-game account on the right server. So if you're from the APAC server, if you are using your APAC account to get rewards, then you should log in to the APAC server and watch it from the APAC website portal. The rewards counter starts at 7, so in about 7 minutes, and will last for around 3 hours. 1 key is awarded every 55 minutes, and you can earn 3 keys in total. And there are no rewards for watching on YouTube, mind you. So I have to emphasize that again, because I have heard so many people watching the stream on YouTube hoping that Wargaming will find them and give them rewards, but that doesn't work that way. So make sure you watch the stream on the portal, and I hope that is all clear. And I'm going to invite Key Hand to the stream. He is the PC version of the War of Tanks. He's a caster of the War of Tanks game for the PC version, not the Blitz version. So has a lot of experience, and we're going to talk with him. We're going to speak with him more during the break after the first match. So hello, Kihan, how are you?
Well, oh.
Right. I think you're breaking up a bit. Kihan, can you hear me? Huh.
All right. How about now?
Okay, good.
Yeah, technical difficulties. But hello, everyone. As Wild One said, I usually do cast World of Tanks PC. I'm actually an employee of Wargaming as well. And casting is kind of how I got into that, because I started off as a freelancer for PC casting. That being said, over the course of the last few months, I didn't know that I was going to cast Blitz X Cup. So I have played quite a bit of Blitz. So hopefully, I should be up to the meta, WZTDs, and up to the maps as well. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all, and thank you for allowing me to stream, of course, because they don't give it to anyone. So I feel very privileged to be here watching live action on the APAC server. Of course, there is a lot going on, and of course, Keyhand followed the NA server a couple of days ago. So, what do you think about the NA server games?
So obviously going into it, I tried to inform myself about the teams, and I was basically told, like, hey, Jokers and Origin, those are basically a step above. And to be honest, from what I saw, that held kind of true. They were one level above everyone, but obviously then in the grand finals, 5-2 scoreline for Jokers. And to be honest, it seemed like they were one step ahead. Just gameplay-wise, tactic-wise as well. Like, for example, on Hellas bringing in the FV4202 with the hash to just bring the DPM. That was pretty cool to see. And now I'm stoked what we will see on the APAC server. Also, this one is at a little bit better times for me because APAC always started at around 5 a.m. local time. Here it's now 2 p.m. So hopefully that should make things a bit more woken up on my part.
Yeah, I think you mean the NA server, which you have to wake up at like 2 a.m., which is not wake up, maybe stay up late. I don't know whether you stay up late or wake up since, but it's a really tough time, and I mean the tiredness really sets in during those times. So well
Yeah,
done.
It does kind of get to you. I was trying to keep myself like awake with coffees, but it only goes so far. But yeah, it is middle of the day for me now. I believe for you as well, so it should be good.
Yeah, it's around like noon, so everything should be nice and dandy. I wish I have to go into the room very quickly. Otherwise you will be seeing nothing on the stream, and you don't want that to happen, do you?
I mean, we can just keep on chatting. It's fine.
Okay, I got the room invite, so it's good. So everything seems to be working nice. So without further ado, shall we take a look at the teams? So let's roll on with the client card. So first of all, let's take a look at GB. Here are the names, the players. We have Zuha as captain of the team, but I don't have enough time to go through all the names very quickly. And here is RISQ, Zophie as the captain of the team. We'll probably talk more about the players later on, but the first map is going to be Dynasty's Pearl, which for me, I think it's a very flat map. Lots of long and narrow corridors, a really good map for super heavies, the German super heavy. So don't be surprised if you're seeing some Masters or E100s or VK72s. But yeah, the WZTDs, they might suffer a bit in this one because it's such a flat map and you don't have a lot of terrain to work with, and it's a very compact map as well. So we will see about both teams whether they will take a lot of WZTDs or maybe they will pay more attention to the German super heavies. And here we go. Apologies for the kind of the Blitz Masters resistant. Let's save the game. Yes, there we go. We have everything set up nicely. So what? So looking at both teams, do you want to announce the lineups of both teams?
I mean, I can. Let's go GV on the left side. We do see no light tanks at all. We have 3 TDs, 2 of them being WCs and 1 of them a Badger. Quite the interesting choice, I think, but obviously hold down, no arguments to be had. Quadruple super heavy, double mouse, double VK72. And on the right, we actually have a light tank on Dynasty's Pearl together with triple VK72 and triple WZTD. So it's going to be interesting. Regarding the map itself, I think, yeah, the WZs can actually suffer a bit. Then again, like we saw, for example, on NA, that the WZTDs on Desert Sands, for example, would get flanked by mediums. Obviously, that is not a possibility when you're like in tight corridors. So a bit of plus and minus, I guess. Yeah,
definitely. And I definitely want to see a bat chat because it's very important. I always emphasize how important the light tank or medium tank is, especially when it comes to kind of flanking around, trying to get the caps. You can do so many things with a light tank. So with GB not taking a light tank, although it's Dynasty's Pearl, it's kind of an anti-map to map in that sense, but RISQ is going to make use of that bat chat to its utmost advantage. So let's take a look at both teams. Both teams looking towards C. We might see a lot of action around there, but we follow F Silver in the bat chats, trying to get the spots for the team. Spotted Monk, and are we going to be seeing more spots coming in? Good shot from F Silver, but
that one,
Monk misses.
Yeah, that was a bit spicy by the bat chat here, but first of all we have to take a look at Bfrost, who's very close towards that double WZTD by GB, who are currently taking B, and they're going to get support by Cologne in the VK72. So by the opening splits we do see RISQ kind of pushed into a corner. GB mid control, they just need to get rid of Sofel in that VK72.
Yes, GB wanted to push through B, but they were stopped because RISQ were in really good positions, and I think both teams are now trading with one another as Arisu takes a big one from, is it Nitroglycerin? I think so. And RISQ might want to get a push onto C, and Smurf Potato a bit hesitant whether to push or not. But Arisu is now really low, and yeah, I think GB is now in trouble.
Yeah, GV indeed in trouble here as the tanks by RISQ with the counter engagement. Skirmishes all across the map, and we do see Lisa not getting the pickup onto the FE270 Badger. Suga is coming in with that WC and bounce as well. That's going to confirm at least 2 more hits by the Badger. That is going to be detrimental for RISQ moving forward, who are also at a HP disadvantage. And GV now coming in from B. They don't care about that Batchat. They want to get the kills right now.
And GB are now pushing in onto Nitroglycerin Bifrost, now really low, 4 versus 2 tanks, and RISQ needs to hurry up to support them, and the Batchat needs to do something. Great kill onto Rome, and it's now a 3 versus 6. RISQ with a lot of tanks alive on the battlefield. GB, they should get Nitroglycerin Revive. I'm not sure if it's going to help. The Epsom is still full health. That could make things worse for GB, and with Esper and Nitroglycerin both down, B captured, GB with only 2 tanks left alive on the battlefield. I think this game will go to RISQ.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, first of all, GV doing a good job of having a lot of HP on the battlefield, but the focus fire from RISQ just prevailing, completely ignoring the Mouses, leaving them for the end game, taking out all of those other guns, thus securing basically a DPM advantage across the board here. And there's little to nothing that Monk can do in this 1 versus many scenario. First round to RISQ, good job.
Wow. It's quite an exciting battle. Not a lot of stale situations, if you see what I mean. Like, RISQ, at one point I was very worried because they were missing and bouncing shots, and it wasn't like exactly they were, you know, I don't know how to say it in the good, I don't know, in the most appropriate way, but at one point they were like targeting different tanks, and I think GB had a chance to, you know, counter push and take all the RISQ tanks out. But as you said, RISQ's focus fire is just better in this battle, and GB, it was they tried to control the tempo. It was not a bad battle from GB, but RISQ with 5 tanks doing more than 2k really shows how strong RISQ can be in that department.
I mean, the thing is, I think GV baited themselves, and me as well, kind of into a false sense of security, because the Mouses were adding so much HP at one point in the game that they were like, all right, we're down a gun, but hey, look at that HP advantage. We can just push and generate some kills in the middle close towards B, and from there on out, we can just steamroll it. But in turn, what ended up happening was the Mouses didn't get focused. Good job to RISQ. All the other guns got extracted from the game, and via that, RISQ was just able to snowball it out. So good job from them.
Definitely, and F Silver still like full health in that back chat really played a difference here. And GB, I do have to doubt their choice of the Badger. I personally, I really love Badger as a tank. It's a really good held down tank, but maybe not the most suited for Dynasty's Pearl. And we'll see them dropping that Badger in favor of the i7, I believe. And let's see how things would change for GB.
I mean, the IS-7 obviously as well, hold down power for them. So kind of doing the same thing, but at the same time not. So let's see. Lineup wise, I mean, yeah, not a lot has changed. The IS-7 getting switched out for the Badger, and on the other side, WZTD says hello once again, and that times 5 together with a VK72 and that aforementioned Badger. So let's hop into the game. I think GV at the start here is switching it up a bit, orientating themselves towards A, but for RISQ, it's all towards C. It's all towards the more open field of Dynasty's Pearl.
Let's take a look at F Silver in the back chat. He drops immediately to B, not trying to spot anything. Maybe he tries to spot someone going into C, but he spotted no one. That could still be information for RISQ, but B will be captured. Oh, maybe not. Rome is going to make a big shot onto F Silver. It's not a nasty shot, but it is enough to reset the gap. Takes another big run from Arisu, and F Silver is unable to get B. Takes another one from Suha. Oh god, F Silver is now down to 1 shot.
Talking about openings of the game that you don't want to see, that light tank dropping down towards one shot immediately is absolutely detrimental towards RISQ, who now also need to be careful because Zuha and the mouse kind of singled out at that moment in time, but he does have support coming, and it's going to be in the form of Rotkopf, or rather in the VK72 Rotkopf here by Shenlong. And on the other side of the map, GV not letting go. They have spotted out two singled out WZTDs. Those are Lisa and Nitroglycerin, both of them getting collapsed upon. This might be the opening that GV was looking for.
Definitely a really great push from GV, it is. And GV's trying to clear out Lisa, and Monk going for nitroglycerin and not sending everyone into one single tank. They're defining the numbers really well. Zuha out, Lisa also out. Nitroglycerin not long for this world, and Monk will take that tank back to the garage. And RISQ is trying to counter push onto Shenlong, but is it enough?
It is just absolute mayhem all across the map. Isolated skirmishes going on. Currently the kill counter though, 3 to make that 2 in favor of GV. And now we do see no cap actually taken at this moment in time, meaning the kill advantage is going to be a bit of a point advantage for GV as well. And F Silver, not sure if he has overextended in that batcha. He's just out and about alone. That man is on a journey, but good shot by Sue in that WZTD to pick up another kill.
Definitely. Oh, great kill onto B for some Cologne. And Shigamigu takes one big hit from Monk. And RISQ, they are trying desperately to chip away the hit points of GV, but there is so much hit points to take away from. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Shigamigu's out. That leaves Mert Potato, the last potato alive. And I have to say very sorry about that. He will be converted into French fries very soon. And there we go. We are on to the third battle.
Yeah, a furious round number 2 here by either team, and I believe the equalizer on the board. But yeah, you really have to wonder, with that bat shot directly towards that B cap, that's obviously a super risky play, kind of blind all in, and it completely ended up not working out. If you want one tank to be very healthy at the end of the battle, it is definitely the bat shot, because that means you can kind of run around like a ninja, try to assassinate people, but yeah, all of that potential was gone after going down towards a one-shot immediately.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think he left it a little bit too late to run away, because he could have just exited that B cap immediately. It's not like the cap that you have to get in order to give you that advantage. If you lose too many hit points, then yes, a cap lead is good, but you still want to keep up with that hit point pool difference. And at the same time, I really love how GV just pushed on, found those double WZTDs isolated, and yeah, it has become like an uphill battle for RISQ, and there is nothing much that RISQ could do in that situation. Just so a really all-rounded performance, an exceptional performance from GV. Sorry about that. And let's take a look at the next map, and this next map will be Lagoon. So a totally different map than Dynasty Spur, and that is a lot more undulated with a lot more terrain that the how down tanks would benefit a lot from, and you will see probably a lot more WZTDs because Lagoon is also a relatively open map. So are we going to be seeing a spam of WZTDs here? We'll find out soon.
What I have to say so far by either team, as soon as they're getting the advantage in the game, they're not letting go. Like, both of them are playing very, very proactive World of Tanks Blitz right now, and that is very nice to see. That means that neither team is afraid of the other, which hopefully is going to translate in some more exciting games. But yeah, match start so far 1-1. I mean, I think we couldn't hope for more.
I would really love to see some equally matched gameplays, because it's really fun to commentate, and you can see both teams really trying exceptionally hard to get the win. And this is going to be an important one for both teams. They want to secure a place in tomorrow's games, and of course more money, because if you win in this bracket, then you will get more money. You will get at least a third place. So let's take a look at both teams now. This time GV takes a bad shot to my sorry, I mean, I love to see that. I forgot the word for that, I apologize. But both tanks, both bad shots trying to spot each team going into A, but no one's going A. everyone seems to go for B and C. And big shot coming into Smart Potato, also a shot onto Suha.
Yeah, exactly. The WZTD is opening fire from the back. Both are going to find their mark, and that's going to translate into some damage on towards both teams. Sophie on the left-hand side is going to, I think, secure C, or at least control over C. That being said, RISQ kind of a bit slow on those rotations. We see a lot of those tanks tucked back here, and I don't really think they can rotate out of that one. Lisa now popping the reactive armor here is going for the peak and does take damage for it. Minus 1500. You don't peek that twice.
Oh yeah, GB were completely ready for that peeking of Lisa down to one shot now, and RISQ, although they have the similar hit points as GB, I mean Shalung is going to be down now. And GB is going to push in, they're going to go for Lisa, they want that tank out of the way.
They do indeed, as the HE shell connects, but is not going to secure the kill. Lisa still alive and kicking, now finally sent towards the grave, but kills have happened as well. Currently 2-1 for RISQ, who are kind of scrambling in this middle part of the map, trying to keep their guns alive, trying to keep that DPM secure for themselves. That being said, the reload boosters coming in for GB here right now, who are down in hit points, down in tanks as well. This one is RISQ's for the taking.
Or is it? Because the hit points are still quite close, and we can potentially see a 1v1 battle here between the double bad shots. Oh, Rome Mouse misses a shot, and Rome has 2 more clips in the hand, and the last one has to connect. Oh, wasn't enough to kill F Silver. Still 5 versus 5. Anything can still happen here. GB, they're looking to get nitroglycerin out of the fight. Erisu now turning his tank, might be able to get the shell in, but it's not going to be him killing nitroglycerin. Is Suha getting the kill. Esper looking for Sugar and Mugu, but Erisu's now down 3 versus 4. RISQ, the hit points are still in slight favor, but it's still exceptionally close. Sugar and Mugu is back to the garage. Sophie takes Suha back to where he started. 2 versus 2. F-Silver 1 shot, 3 hit points. Esper down to 13. Sophie not a one shot, the only non-one shotter in this battlefield. She is going to be very, very instrumental in
HE, Sophie, HE is what you want to use here. You have to jump on him, you just need to go, and he misses his shot. This one does not connect, however, he can reverse behind the wreck and is going to be able to cover his reload. How many HE shells did he actually take, as Rome with that bad shot actually roaming through the map is not a one-shot currently for Silver, as Sophie takes one, and Rome, the assassin from behind, is going to secure the kill. This means Silver is going to find himself in the 1 versus 2, but Rome with the flick picks it up to secure once again advantage for GB. 2-1.
Wow. I was right not to call it to RISQ that early, because I know both teams are so close. The brawls are super close, but I think GB found the weakness in the formation of RISQ at the last minute, and what a great performance by Rome, killing Sophie and also the other batch and F Silver. Esper doing almost 5,000 damage, although only killing 1 time, but still a lot of damage to behold of. And wow, what's an aggressive, what's a tight, I don't know. I always say this is a pandemonium. It's a total pandemonium we're seeing here. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely close round. By the way, I forgot, I did not ask you before the game, because you're kind of the expert on the teams here. Who should be favored right now to win this one?
Who should be favored? I can't really say, because on one hand, like GB, they really rejuvenated their team. I think after the last couple of seasons, I think even for the last season, they didn't get into top 4 at all. And I think they recruited Monk, and they also recruited another person, I forgot, but they definitely strengthened their team. I can see they have trained a lot for this tournament, and they are definitely one of the favorites to win this one. And of course, RISQ, they're trying to bounce back after a really disappointing season last season, and so far they are doing quite well, and I'll be very gutted to see any team leaving tonight. I don't think we will see any of the teams here leaving tonight, and I hope we will see both of them in the grand final, of course. We do have to take a deep breath and get ready to do another exciting commentary, shall we?
I mean, so far it's been an absolute blast, and let's hope that the rounds keep on giving, because so far they were absolutely phenomenal. All right, round number 4 coming up. Is it going to be the lead here by 3-1, or is it going to be the equalizer 2-2 on Lagoon? And yeah, for the team of RISQ, we see a Concept T100, VK72, quadruple WZTD, and on the other side, double WZTD, VK72, 1 ISM, 1 Batcher, 1 Mouse, and an STB. Haven't seen that one yet so far. Not too uncommon as a pick, though.
Yeah, and both teams are now going to similar positions as they took last battle. Looking at Monk in the bat chat, trying to spot tanks going into C, while RISQ, have they dropped the bat chat? They did drop a bat chat. They're going to take a T100 LT instead. Let's see how the T100 LT does, because the spotting mechanism is a bit different for the T100 LT, and that could become... Oh, we are seeing a boost here. We're completely missing a boost. Rome in the SB1 getting boosted by 5 tanks, but is it going to be successful? They do not want to waste too much time, and he is up, and Rome is up on this hill. I have never seen this before, but this is unprecedented.
Absolutely cool to see that. Man, this is a throwback, because on World of Tanks PC, there also used to be boosts. I absolutely love seeing it here by Rome in that SB. And I was kind of curious, hey, what's that pick for? Well, now we do know, as the T100 makes his way in towards C, does not get spotted by Rome, who is driving a bit back, a bit forth, but obviously the unspotted T100 LT, kind of a small target to hit here without having any information, and thus he is going to switch sides. It's going to be a RISQ cap for the time being. This means time is a-ticking now for the team of GV, who do have an SCB in a very, very interesting position, but is it going to pay off is the question, as Monk takes the reset here on A. And honestly, I'm kind of doubting his decision to stay out in the open with that bat chat while he was capping.
Yeah, it was a bit of a careless mistake there. Should have stayed back in cover. And I think now RISQ is trying to counter cap that A cap, as they are sending almost everyone onto A, leaving Sophie quite isolated here. But she is on top of this plateau, so maybe she will survive for a little bit longer. But let's take a look at Rome. Monk taking a bait when he's out.
Yeah, shut up, shut down, back to the garage for the Batcher player of GV here. So 6 versus 7 right from the get-go, and now we'll have to see how or if GV are able to respond as Rome starting to open up. So that is going to mean information is there on that STB, but will it help is the question. That shot did not connect here, and double cap for RISQ at this moment in time means that GV, they are indeed on a timer. That STB is going to start DPing, but Sophie, not long for this world, is going to get picked up at some point or another, down and out as well. So 6 versus 6 as the brawl does continue close towards that B cap. B Frost probably a bit too committed here, does take shot after shot, that one not even connecting, and Shenlong to shut it down. Another kill on the mouse.
Yeah, it's now 5 versus 5 situation. Hip was in favor of RISQ by a lot, and Shenlong is not going to be long for this one. Nitroglycerin going to land a killing shell onto Shenlong, with GV now trying to take out Nitroglycerin. Cologne coming from behind, and Shiga Mugu trying to address that issue at hand. Erisu, the focus for RISQ, and this is actually still not a win for RISQ yet, although they took 3 caps, and GV needs to hurry up and get to the tanks out. But is it going to be successful? I doubt.
Well, we'll have to see. Erisu now on a one-shot, so they need to secure that kill if they want. That being said, though, Rome with a good kill on towards that IS-7 here, and Silver is going to take yet another scalp, as Rome with that STB is still shooting. But while he's doing that, we have to keep in mind triple cap is ticking for RISQ, and also that STB1 is not contributing to the active HP pool of GV here right now. He's contributing DPM, but he is not contributing anything else towards the fight, and that, I think, might be the problem here. Cologne in a 3-way crossfire in between Lisa, Sugu, and Silver is starting to commit in, but I think that are going to be his last moments. That WZTD is about to be reloaded. There we go, and now Rome is throning over everyone, but I think his throne is about to tumble.
Yeah, it's now going to be a 2-2 scoreline. We love to see another tie break here. Well, not really a tie break now because this is a best of 7, but we love to see another tie. We love to see both teams going
Man,
toe to toe.
That boost. Oh, holy crap. That's a throwback for me to like 7 or 8 years back, spending like I don't know how many hours in the training rooms to get those boosts like down. I love seeing it.
Definitely. And well, it didn't quite work out for GB, although that tank STB1 did the most damage. Sad news for Monk. He will have to go back to the garage, having done 0 damage. But you know, it's not the end of the world if you do 0 damage. We will see whether Monk is going to take revenge on this, and we're going to the next map. And that will be Winter Malin Novka, which is a different map than Lagoon, of course. You don't have that much terrain, but there is still terrain. It's still very wide open. I think the main difference is that you don't have that many mountains in Winter Malin. So Winter Malin can be a really great map for doing crossfire, setting up positions. A map I think RISQ will benefit a lot from, because from what I always from my experience as an APAC streamer, and of course I do stream EU from time to time, is that GV is a bit of a mix of both. Like they are good tactically, but they're also good with their teamwork and individual skills. And RISQ, they are the best at getting into the right positions to do crossfire, really good with strats, and this map could be the map for them.
Let's wait and see. 10 seconds to go. From what I can see already, double light tank for GV coming in against only 1 by the side of RISQ. So light advantage immediately going to switch over towards GV. We'll have to wait and see if they actually double up on one side to possibly take out the opposing batchet like directly. So Silver needs to be kind of wary of that, or on the other hand, you can obviously split your batchets and just generate informational advantage and thus take map control. So yeah, that's going to be, I think, the thing to watch out for at the start of the game, if we don't see like some super interesting opening by either team anyway.
Definitely. Both teams really having really similar amounts of hit points, but GB taking double batchats against RISQ with only 1. Let's see how GB's going to do with double batchats, as F Silver has spotted them both. Is he in trouble? I don't know if the double batchets are going to push in further, but Air Silver has support, so the double batchets can push in right away. A lot of light bulbs have been activated, but no shots have been fired so far. GV will get A under Monk, and Bifrost going into that ditch here. Rome takes hit, Monk takes 1, Suha also takes 1, and Monk takes another.
Yeah, these punishments coming out from the team of RISQ here quite good. Yes, they did lose A in the process, but the punishment, the amount of damage that has been flying over from that blue team, detrimental. Now, however, the retaliation coming out just before the batchet here gets shot down. So the first kill coming through for RISQ, who are looking for a second one, because Suha and Monk, both of those tanks here in the southwestern corner, kind of isolated from the rest of the team. Good shot by Bifrost, 520. That's going to make him a one-shot for Silver. So the 1v2 in that batchet completely working out for the RISQ player. Very, very easy 3 kills. And yes, on the other side, Sugu and Smirt are going to go down, but that's still an acceptable, an exceptional trade coming through from the team in blue.
You can say that GB got X-Punch over A side, as Shugenmugu is now out of the fight. Arisu is now down to 1 shot, and maybe he will have to go back to the garage and reflect upon. But at the moment, RISQ have 5 tanks compared with GB with only 4, and Cologne is trying to get B, trying to maintain that cap lead. But will RISQ continue that momentum to push forward? Because I think they have the hit point to do that. And Nitroglycerin is now ready to do that. And F Silver in a really good position. Good shot onto Shenlong. Misses the shot onto Arisu. And the last shot doesn't connect either.
Yeah, the bat shot here only hitting 1 out of 3, but is it going to matter? Well, possibly not, as Aspa dangerously close towards the tanks of RISQ, getting double teamed here. Some support coming through by the BK-72s from Cologne and Shenlong. They're trying desperately to keep their teammates alive, but for Erisu, that's not going to happen. And from the sidelines, Bifrost is going to come in with the flank, securing kill number 5 for RISQ here. They are looking to put themselves on towards match point on Winter Malinovka.
Definitely. That leaves now Cologne the last person standing with Shenlong being shot down to the ground. Cologne hoping to spray a poisonous cologne on his tank, but it doesn't affect RISQ in any way. And yeah, it's a match point to RISQ now, and will we see a tiebreaker? RISQ now getting the impetus. And I don't know, RISQ looking very unstoppable right now. I mean, you can see that push onto A and GV. Probably they have good positions to crossfire, but we aren't really seeing that into full effect. They aren't really taking down one particular tank, and RISQ doing a bit better in the focus fire. That makes all the difference for me.
I really want to give a shout out to F Silver this game. Not only was he playing the 1 versus 2 in the Batchat, he also did an extremely mature job of getting that information and then, you know, not panicking. He knew he had support coming, so he wasn't going to get overpushed, or at the very worst, he was going to get traded 2 for 1 with both of the enemy Batchats dying. So, yeah, good job for him and good job to RISQ as well with the communication, using the information that your own Batchat gives you and then completely capitalizing. It was like, you know, some snake waiting to attack, and as soon as, the prey had fallen into the trap, the snake was just like, all right, you're done for.
Yeah, but the snake, I think, no. I don't think any of the clan logo has snake on the APAC server. We do have a snake on the EU server though, and that is APA. And I would love to see how APA plays on the EU server.
Being compared to APA is probably not the worst thing in the world for any team, so I hope I didn't insult anyone.
No, APA is actually one of the best teams on the EU server.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
So you definitely want to be complimented.
But yeah, it's what I want to say is it seemed almost organic, the reaction coming out from RISQ, and that's always a good sign. It was like, all right, this is the info, this is what we have to do. It also attributes towards the trainings that they probably played. It seemed like they had done this before. And that is very, very good for RISQ. And for GV now, I mean, it's not all over yet, but they are faced with a match point. And if they lose that one, they would be going directly to the lower bracket. And that is obviously not where you want to be.
Definitely not. And RISQ with Sextuple WZTDs, F Silver, of course. He lost his light tag. Why would you want to put F Silver in the WZTD? He would probably flop in that tag. I'm just joking. I don't think he will play terribly in that tag, but F Silver has to play in the Batchat. No question about that.
Yep, and immediately he's going to get sent towards the field again in a bush. This time, however, doesn't spot anything, and that is due to the fact that GV have set their sights on towards that northern part of the map that does hold B and C. And I believe GV, they should have a rather easy job of securing C. B, a kind of different question. We do see some light bulbs as well. GV already taking 2 hits by those WZTDs. Not the best start of the round for Monk here.
Definitely not, but that's not the end of the world yet, as GV will now capture C to bring the cap point deficit within reach. And GV is now trying to get aggressive over to Cement Potato, maybe a good idea to do that. RISQ are not in position to do crossfire to shut down that push. Suha misses the shot, and RISQ trying to rotate back as quickly as they could. And GV unable to do any damage to RISQ so far.
I mean, for GV here, the pain train, it needs to get rolling. The Sharks have enclosed on towards Smurf Potato that is able to get another good shot here, but the reactive armor running out means that he's going to take a lot of damage rather soon, but double WZTD by RISQ actually with that crossfire, 1100 into the Potato and the WZTD, and on the cross map play, we do see that RISQ are reacting, but are they doing that fast enough here? Faced with a match point, GV respond with the first kill of the game.
And RISQ got B at the same time, and time is taking for GV. They need to get back B, they need to get the kills, and now Sovi is the focus for GV. GV now pushing into the mid, the hit points in favor of GV. but they cannot waste any more time. RISQ will try to get Suha and Cologne out of the way. Sophie, the next thing out, but Shenlong is also out of the fight. Erisu takes one, and GB now looking for Lisa, or maybe the F Silver, I don't know. And still a complete mayhem in this battle.
Complete mayhem happening as RISQ do equalize the scoreline in terms of tanks, and now Cologne needs to be careful. Double WZTD very close as Bifrost gets pushed by Zuha here. The ISM not quite reloaded yet, but I don't think the WZTD has the alpha to pick it up, as he does actually. Cologne with the flank once again with another kill coming through, but GV still 4 tanks alive, and they do have a very healthy WZTD. F Silver out of shells here, so is Rome. So the batch out 1v1 is going to end with the IS-7 shutting it down, and this surely should be the staying alive in the match for GV, who have 4 tanks remaining against RISQ's 2.
Definitely great focus fire from GV. RISQ formation probably not as tight as the last couple of battles, and you can definitely see GV can take advantage of like a lapse in the formation, a small weakness in your formation, and that is enough for GB to get an important win, bring this battle to tiebreaker, as GB will now sit out as they have 2 caps. They don't need to do anything extraordinary, and Cologne trying to get a kill onto Shugu.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything extraordinary. That being said, one of the WZ, Sugu, by the team of RISQ, gets another kill, but the HP on Asper just too much to contend with. Sugu is going to be the only remaining player here for the team of RISQ, and both of those tanks by GV not really that likely of a one-shot, so they're just gonna sit it out, wait it out, faced with the match point. They do hold on, they do hold strong, and they force the tiebreaker.
We all love to see a tiebreaker. I still remember, I think it was 2023 autumn season, I had like 3 or 4 consecutive tiebreakers during the professionals tournament, and I think we're probably going to achieve that tonight. Our first tiebreaker of the day. Of course, the teams don't want a tiebreaker; they want to get the job done as soon as they could. But for us streamers, we are a bit of a selfish people, so we definitely want to see tiebreakers, don't we?
I mean, we can be kind of sadistic in that way, I do agree. Tiebreaker is always awesome, and yeah, the teams might not like it, but for us it is content extension, and yeah, so far the content has been absolutely great. Like, both of those teams bringing it to each other. I would say currently I would give the slight advantage to RISQ just in terms of how they played, but obviously the scoreline doesn't give a damn about that. It is a 3-3. It is anyone's to take, and I mean, GV, you got to compliment those nerves of steel. You're faced with with a match point against you, and yeah, sometimes the last point in a match can be the most difficult to get, but first of all, having the mental fortitude to go up against the tiebreaker, and like they didn't seem shaken this round. They were like, all right, this is what's going to happen, this is how we're going to respond, so good job to them as well. And honestly, like, whoever takes it in the tiebreaker deserves it.
Right, so we also have the results coming from the other bracket, as ICFC have won 4-1 against Rory. So this is going to be the battle to determine which clan is going to join ICFC in the upper bracket final, and which one would join Rory in the lower bracket first round. We're now on to the tiebreaker map. Black Goatfield, GV versus RISQ. This is a very crucial battle. No team here wants to make any stupid mistakes. No team here wants to let the other team know that they have the weakness here. They have to do exceptionally well here. They have to be in their top notch form. Let's take a look. Monk in the back chat. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. As we do load into what will actually be the last round of the semi-finals of the upper bracket, and now one batch out here for GV against the 2 of RISQ. So this time Monk is actually going to be taking out that 1 versus 2, and now split-wise we do see GV kind of hanging back a bit. RISQ fanning out a bit more aggressively, immediately a spot on towards that IS-7, and that is certainly a timing that they were looking for, but it seems like the timing did not work out. out. Instead, it's going to be GB who take the first damage of the game.
Yes, I think GB predicted that there will be RISQ tanks going into C, and they set up their tanks near the spawn really nicely, but RISQ definitely not falling into that trap, and it is actually GB that took the first hit, so it is a position that doesn't quite work out yet, but maybe they will have a different idea.
I mean, they're starting to send one of the Batjets into A, so they want to relieve a bit of that cap pressure. Or, sorry, it's a T100, actually, of Rome. So he's going to, like, secure some spots, but as the time ticks, obviously RISQ with the first damage. They do have the advantage here at this moment in time, and this means that GB, sooner rather than later, they need to respond, and now the T100 of Rome is going to start capping A, but that's not going to remedy the situation quite yet, especially as RISQ have started rotating. They look like they might be considering a collapse on A.
And we will see Smurf Potato now coming in. But Esper, big one knows a Smurf Potato, but on the other hand, GB going into C, leaving Sophie quite isolated, but RISQ is wasting no time, trying to take out Rome. Rome is trying to run away, and Epsom is chasing him down. Esper also quite low. RISQ feeling the momentum. They want Esper. They don't like this this player. They want that player out of the fight. And of course, no hate to that K-pop girl group, but Esper is now out of the fight.
Esper being down and out, the mouse of Sophie still alive and kicking gets sent to the abyss as well. 1-1 in the kill department, but B does switch in towards possession of GB. But Rome does get picked up from downtown. It's going to be Arisu to pick it up. Beautiful shot to finish off that T100 light tank, and this now means that GB are only going to left with 5 tanks. Yes, they do have double cap, but this round is actually up towards RISQ now, because we do see them forming up. They have spotted out a lonely Shenlong, and yes, the dragon is going to breathe fire here momentarily as the WZTD takes a shot, but there are too many hounds chasing down that big German super heavy tank that is probably going down with a fight. But going down regardless, Cologne might be too late.
It might be too late, but oh no, Lisa misses the shot. Oh, the tables might have turned here. Lisa, now out of the fight. It's not something that RISQ has expected here. Shenlong barely hang on. Maybe GB has found the moment to turn around their fortunes, but it's too little, too late. Arisu now down to 1 shot, and RISQ finding Cologne very isolated. I think it is all over for GB. I think RISQ are going to meet ICFC in the upper bracket final.
Yeah, Nitroglycerin here shutting down yet another tank. Monk responding with a kill, but the HP 4.4 thousand. That's 3k advantage here currently for the team of RISQ. Yes, Monk is starting to clip out on that Wheezy TD, who is currently reloaded but seems to be tracked. But Arisu goes down as well, and this means only 2 tanks remaining. Both of them very, very low. One of them a Batchat, the other one down and out as Nitroglycerin picks it up. Monk with the 1 versus 4, he's got to do it all, but he does have less points, and now he has 0 HP. RISQ is going to the upper bracket finals.
Congratulations to RISQ, and commiserations to GB. Both teams played so well tonight, but this last battle, how well RISQ did with dating with that mouse and with Sophie. Poor little fella here. She is definitely not happy about being pushed by GB, but this is what their strat wants, and it worked completely brilliantly for them. So the sacrificial lamb, it's a sacrificial lamb, but it's a worthy sacrificial.
You know, I think for making it to the upper bracket finals, both you and I, we would also be like, all right, I'm going to be the mouse going to the suicide position. Well, I can waste some time to go to upper bracket finals for that. So I don't think they're going to be too unhappy with that. But yeah, it looked a little dicey at some point in time when that double WZTD was pushing that VK72, and for some reason, for some time, they weren't able to secure the kill. But yeah, RISQ, I guess, shaking that off, that little bit of a hiccup, that little bit of a speed bump, that was the VK72, and after that, just a beautiful end game from them. And congratulations, but this means that the team that we just saw lose, GV, they're going to be in our next match as well. And after matches like this, you always have to question kind of a little bit, what does that do, like with the mentality of a team? Having just lost in tiebreaker, now having to go up against yet another team. I mean, yeah, they're coming off of a 4-1 loss, the other ones, that is, but still, losing in a tiebreaker is never good for a team's psyche.
No, definitely not. Oh my gosh. I think we should take a deep breath here, and yeah, just if we can have this level of excitement going into the lower bracket first round, it will be really good. But for me, I don't know. I don't want to waste too much of my, of my stamina for today. I have to save some of that for tomorrow. So I'm not saying we want like very stale game plays, but I definitely want to see some really exciting gameplays, but I need to take a deep breath.
If all the matches are going to be as exciting as this one, that's going to be an absolutely awesome stream for sure. I have to say, on a personal note, like for me, it's super cool to see like the instant action in VOD Blitz. And talking about some comparisons as well, you say keeping your stamina. For me, when I was talking about the NA stream the first time with 34, he was like, oh, it's going to be a long stream, like 3 hours. And I was like, our shortest ones go 4 hours. But yeah, so far, an absolute blast. Like, I don't think we could have wished for something better. What did we see? Like, we saw close games. We saw, like, really cool tactics. We saw tanks boosting. I think there is little else that we could want. I mean, we got a tiebreaker, heck.
Yeah. I mean, we got everything that we want, so we don't expect anything more than that. Maybe for the EU server, that would be a different story as well. So, but I'm very satisfied with what we had so far. So hopefully, the lower bracket first rounds are not going to disappoint. And I mean, Rory's definitely a really strong team, so I am absolutely patched to see how both teams play. But yeah, how about we take a 5-minute break? I need to do some setup, and then we'll have Keyhand back as we talk about more about Keyhand, because he is a very special person, and we will see you back soon. We'll see you back very soon, and yeah.
On fire, time to call for help. I just can't stop my
Okay, hello again. Welcome back to this exciting stream. We just followed some really exciting games, and not go we have to interview very soon. But just a recap: RISQ won against GB 4-3, and ICFC won against Rory 4-1. And we will follow GB versus Rory next, and that will happen in around like 15 minutes. And also, quickly, let's take a look at the predictions from our lovely supercomputer Mapbox. In the upper bracket final, it is predicted to go in favor of ICFC, although with a brilliant performance by RISQ. So we will see whether that is the case later on. But Mapbox has predicted GB to win 4-3 against Rory with shorter odds for GB this time. Okay, so I think a lot of you are having some issues with rewards, and I hope that has been fixed now. But you still have opportunities to get rewards, to get keys. So the links are in the pinned in the live chat and also in the description, and they can also be found on the Wargaming's official Discord server. You have to enable your targeting cookies, otherwise you will only see a grey screen. I heard that some people have to clear the cache totally and try and see if it works for you, so that the timer starts ticking. And you must log in on your in-game account on the right server, and the rewards counter has already started, and it will still last for another 2 hours. One key is awarded every 55 minutes, and you can earn 3 keys in total. And tomorrow, that will be a bit different, and we will talk you through about the instructions all over again during the official stream. Okay, so welcome back, Keyhand.
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can definitely hear you. How are you doing?
All right. I'm pretty good. Just got another glass of water to help soothe the voice after the very cool match number 1 that we just saw. Did that go up to your expectations? Did it break expectations? What did you think about going into that one? Sorry.
I well, lived up to my expectations. I think also exceeded my expectations a bit as well. I certainly didn't expect 2 teams to play really aggressively, and I think a bit surprising for me, because GB always love to play a lot with the caps, but we aren't seeing a lot of that in the last game. So maybe they're saving that for tomorrow, but they have to work really hard now, because this is going to be important for their survival. And yeah, I mean, ICFC and Rory, they don't have an in-game clan logo yet in the game, so will that motivate them to perform really well? I mean, ICFC now will get an in-game clan logo now that they have at least finished in the top 3. But yeah, very happy of what I've seen so far. So
And now I guess we can raise the stakes a little bit for the up and coming match, because I believe that's the only match today in which a team is actually going to leave us. So the loser of this one, no more security nets, no more lifelines, they are going to be out. So I think if anyone at any point was saving strats or something like that, well, now is not the time. This is a do or die situation for both. So I don't think we're going to see like any, let's maybe save this strat for next time, or let's maybe save it for finals. This is not going to be it. Both of the teams are going to bring absolutely everything to the table that they have.
I would agree with that totally, and yeah, I hope we will see another set of exciting games. So going back, we haven't known. I mean, if you have watched 34 stream, he might have introduced himself a bit more already. But for those probably, especially for those who are from the EU server, they might not have watched those streams. So tell me more about yourself. What do you work? I mean, what is your role in your work? And yeah, just tell me more about that.
So, all right. As previously said, I'm Keyhand. I work for Wargaming. Normally, I work for the World of Tanks PC product. There, I work in competitive operations. So basically, everything to do with tournaments, events, tournament streams, weekly tournaments, like anything that is competitive would be, well, me or my boss, who are the competitive team. So basically, I do the same thing that Talian does for Blitz, kind of. And how did I get into this rather fortunate position, I would say, is that basically back in the day in the PC clan scene, I used to be like a very, very active Clan Wars player. And so this is where I got my first connections. And then because I was one of the FCs there and I was very vocal, at some point I was asked like, hey, don't you want to try out like casting our tournaments as well? I was like, yeah, all right, let's do that. And from there on out, I ended up casting basically every single tournament that we had since 2019. And actually during COVID times, when I finished my studies at university, the jobs that I initially wanted to take were, well, not available. There were hiring freezes across all companies because, well, COVID. Fortunately enough, well, there were some spots free in Wargaming at that time. And yeah, I got hired, and since then a couple position changes, but now I'm mostly working on like tournament and event streams, and I am one of the main casters for World of Tanks PC. And now let's see how it goes with Blitz.
Yeah, so I mean, so far, how different do you find between these two games, especially in the tournament scene?
So to be honest, it's at the end, it's both World of Tanks, right? It's designed to be kind of the same thing, but one is for PC and one is for mobile. You might be appalled to hear that I tried Blitz on mobile once and I felt like I had absolutely no hands, so I'm playing that one on PC as well. But yeah, other than that, there are obviously a few differences. I mean, right now on your screen in the game, we're looking at the Kampfpanzer 50T. For example, in the PC version, that's a tier 9 medium. In Blitz, it's a tier 10. Or for example, the Batchat in Blitz, it's a light tank. In PC, it's a medium and it has 5 shells and stuff like that. But like fundamentally, it is the same thing. So I think the only other big difference is that we have different tournament formats in PC that we stream. So one of them would be 7v7. Currently we're streaming Onslaught, which is kind of a special game mode with abilities, etc. And the other one would be Clan Showdown, and that is actually 15v15, which can get extremely chaotic at times, simply because you have 30 tanks on the battlefield. Oh, wow. But yeah. It is both is cool. I will say a Blitz is a lot more fast-paced.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the maps are smaller as well, so yeah, I find it like, I mean, it's Blitz, so they have to be really quick and done for in a very short amount of time. I mean, we have like 7-minute counter for each battle as well, so they have to. I mean, we rarely use up the entire 7 minutes, and do we have Castilla today? Let me check. We don't, but we also don't have Normandy. So you're all safe. We are probably not going to use all 7 minutes today. Yeah,
I am
so
pretty used to be seeing the full 10 minutes that we have for our
Oh, yeah.
competitive mode
Oh,
right now.
gosh.
So, but yeah, overall, I'm super excited. And to be honest, like this first match here has done nothing to curb my enthusiasm. I am absolutely stoked because that was really a banger.
Definitely. I've been talking about the World of Tanks PC tournament scene. What is kind of the difficulty that you face during your tenure as the tournament manager?
So obviously there are some issues that are PC specific, but there are other ones that are like general. So on the European server, it's pretty easy, for example, regarding time zones. But it tends to be very difficult regarding languages, and that is, I think, something that would translate over to APAC as well. So kind of when you're trying to get into it on the European server, you either have to find like a team that speaks your language. We have a very active and successful Polish community, for example. Recently, the joining Ukrainians have been exceptionally competitive as well. But yeah, if you don't find a team that speaks your language, you most likely will have to speak English, which would be a second language. Sometimes that can be an obstacle. And then moving into North American server, moving into APAC server, you mostly have the problems with time zones. Like, for example, at which time do you put a tournament for most players to be able to participate? Like, some of them have jobs, some of them study at university or are in school. Those kind of logistical challenges, I think, for any kind of event that you do, you will have them. Also, what we have, which specific problems we have sometimes, is that we have also cross-server tournaments sometimes. So at the start of July, we had, for example, Independence Day show match between EU and NA, and there you have to like switch servers and all of that kind of funky stuff. But I think we're managing currently. I would say the biggest difference in between, like roadmap wise, is that you guys have big events like not sure how often the cups are, every 4 or 6 months, so basically 3 or 2 times a year. For us, we have a stream tournament like every month, but it's kind of smaller scale.
I see. So yeah, sounds really fun to me. I think we are going to have the room set up soon for the next match. So probably I'm probably going to stop here for now, and yeah. So going back to the lounge. Okay, so I'm just going to read the chat again. Yeah, so far, hopefully some of you have found a fix to your issues with the keys, but apparently I think what I saw on the official Discord server is that I don't think Wargaming has identified an issue on their end from what I'm seeing, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a better idea than I do, Kian. But so far,
despite me sitting in the office, I actually have exactly the same information as you. And also, I want to mention that despite me being called Keyhand, I do not have those in my hand. You will have to go to the official website and not YouTube, which is sometimes I'm being told the mistake that people make.
Yes, I have to make it with like red. You know, I don't know the term for that. The kind of a very special
Marker?
shape. A very special shape, like the one you see with explosions. I don't. There must be an exact word for that. But I have to emphasize that because this is quite a common mistake, to be fair.
I mean, I can just talk from my own experience. Like, obviously, I have a Blitz account now as well, where I started playing, and well, for me, it works without issues right now. But obviously, that doesn't mean that everyone will have no problems. But yeah, I'm claiming my keys, and I'll be opening those boxes later.
Yes, you will open those boxes later. But for now, let's take a look at both teams, and we're going to start off with Rory. Milk is the captain of the team, and we have all the other players here, which will compose the Rory team.
We are brothers.
Great Viet
We
team,
fight
Suha,
together.
captain of the team. And let's take a look at the first map. That will be Canal. Canal, it's a great map to train on because you have those 4 caps, and usually teams capture the B or C cap right at the beginning. Some clans, they don't do that. Some clans, they just want to do a counter strat to stop the other team from capturing B or C very quickly. But yeah, usually 2 caps will be captured right at the beginning. A and D cap should not be very difficult to obtain, and you might see a couple of minutes of dead time. But what they are usually doing, they are going into positions to do crossfire and lining up for rotation later on in the game. Why I say it's a really good map for training is because it trains how well you do with your rotations, train your communication with one another during rotations. It's not an easy map to rotate on, but it's a really great map. You have those 3 major corridors that you can use to rotate on, and here is the room. I forgot I am in a room already, but here we go.
All right. Both of those teams seem pretty prepared. Like, everyone ready 2 minutes before it starts with the lineups already? Not bad.
Yes, not bad at all. Rory doesn't seem to like the WZTDs. They only take 2 of them this time, but also with GB, 2 of them. A bit surprised because Canal is such an open map, and I would expect a lot more WZTGs than that. However, Canal is well known for lots of medium and lights, and GB are taking 3 of them, and Rory taking only 1.
That's a lineup diff right there. Like, triple light against only a singular one, and to keep in mind, like, it's 7 players, 3 lights. That's like, I don't know what, like 40% of the lineup. That is a huge commitment.
It is, and I think you will be surprised to see how many light tanks and medium tanks that the EU server will take on Canal. I'm just going to have a bit of a spoiler for you. Before you follow the EU server, I think a few days after. So I'm excited to see how well they're going to be doing. Wadu, I think you all know Wadu. I mean, to my viewers, Wadu from RN1, the summer season last year. So great to see him back. And I think there is also another player here. It's Injustice, previously known as Lancelot. So I can't remember whether he is in the team of RN winning that season, but Rory is getting some reinforcements from the previous champions of the APAC server. But of course, GB won the season before, so it's not to say that GB is not it's not a favorite to win here. But yeah, I am excited to see how both teams play. And Concert 1B, great hold down tank, a very narrow, small turret, but you don't want to show your chassis. It's a really elongated chassis.
Now, as we hop into game number 1 of the lower bracket, which one of those teams is going to leave us? Is it going to be GV or is it going to be Rory? As you said, both of those teams have players with titles under their belt, so there are probably going to be some sad faces after this match. And let's hop into the first game of Canal. Rory kicking it off with only 1 light tank, triple VK72, 1 IS7, double WZTD, and on the other side, 3 light tanks. Double Batcher at 1 T100, a Concept, and an IS7 together with 2 WZTDs. Game on.
It is game on indeed. GB dropping the speed boost, going to send a couple of tanks over to A. Monk and Erisu going straight to D. Rory trying to get B at the very beginning. But very interesting route that GB is taking. Suha going down there, but will Zong have shots in? Suha still spotted. The Zong is holding off for now.
Zong indeed holding off and dropping off, as we do see the cap going through for the team of Rory, not without the cost of some HP though. Both Kiz and Injustice having taken a small battering here cross map from probably those WZTDs, and top 9. He is pushed up very, very far in that ISM. That's going to extend a lot of view range. Does he get the timing on the Batchat? No, he seems to be dropped down while the Batchat cross was happening. And now A does get taken as well for the team of Rory, so they are going to have the advantage in that regard. But top 9 taking a shot in that IS7 by Shenlong. Good one in towards that IS7, and this means HP advantage they started with. But yeah, GV so far making a good job with those light tanks getting information.
they traded well, and that will become very important later in the game. Both teams have 2 caps in their belt, and I have to remind you what it means is that both teams will have 6 cap points per 2 seconds of increase. So usually teams push at around 800 point mark. So if I do quick maths at the top of my head, that's around like oh my god,
Math
around
on
2
stream,
minutes.
not even once.
2 minutes
yeah,
to go. 2 minutes to go for GB to bleed Rory, and they flat them well so far. There is still time.
There is indeed still time, and let's see if Rory is able to put that to good use and to sort of come back a little bit from the bleed that they have been sustaining. The shot by Kiz not connecting in towards Shenlong. He's still going to be rocking that full HP WZTD, and now a very, very tactical approach coming out by the team. Obviously, stakes are high. The loser will be knocked out, and this is why we see the players not wanting to do any mistakes. But as the cap ticks up, it is important to mention that Rory has the slight advantage. So in the end, it will have to be GB pushing with those light tanks, those tanks that are very vulnerable. They cannot sustain a lot of punishment, and that might be a problem moving forward.
At the same time, the double back shots, remember, double clipper tanks can take out one tank very quickly. So Arisu, we might see some big shots coming in, and it is the case. Song, big shot onto Arisu. Arisu returns fire, but just a puny 260 damage inflicted.
Yeah, Arisu is going to be like, oh, nope, no, thank you very much. That being said, though, the push once again gets called on towards Zong. Good shot in towards the bat chat, and he's going to reverse behind the stone. This means that the other guns by Rory need to support against this triple light tank that are currently threatening, and this means cross-map plays are also getting started. Cologne and Zuha pushed up very far, but they are close towards double VK72, but this means the VKs cannot support the WZTD of Zong anymore, who gets collapsed upon by that triple light tank. Is going to bite the dust momentarily, not without doing one more shot, but it gets shot down, and this obviously means that GB right now have the advantage. Rory in full-on assault in the middle.
At the same time, Rory made use of GB being very slow in taking Zog, and they've counter push in the middle, took out top 9. Well, it is a GB taking out top 9. So it is still really close. Rory with a substantial hit point pool lead. GB might be punished for being very slow, but the hit points are still really close. Cologne going into B, trying to cap stop, and Wado as well cap stopping C. It's still tantalizingly close. Suha out of the way. Can GB bring it back? Fallen out, roam out, very close.
Indeed, kills going either team's way, but currently Rory with the HP and the cap point advantage as Supernova gets caught out here down in the middle of the map. Cologne coming through with that ISM is going to get the kill. This is going to make the cap points ever closer again. Rory 5k against 2k HP of GV only. 3 versus 3 situation, but I believe the cap points right now are favoring Rory. 2 caps once again switching possession as 2 of them getting capped simultaneously. Damage coming in, and I believe this is Kills looking for the killing blow on towards Cologne here. He needs to reload, he needs to make that shot. Monk from the sides unable to help, and Cologne does one more, but that is probably going to be all she wrote as Kiz locks it in with the VK72. 1-0 for Rory.
Wow. Rory, despite losing quite some hit points at the start, GV looking like a shed of themselves from the last battle, for the last match. They were very tentative in taking down Zong. Had they committed to that push, I think G would not have fallen apart that much. It would still have been a really, really close game, as shown by how close the cap points were. Really, that tiny detail here makes all the difference for me.
I think in the end, the straw that broke the camel's back here was like HP is a resource. Rory started off with more, lost some of it, but at the end they still had so much left to invest that they could pick and choose their engagements, and by doing that they were able to get those kills. which ended up translating into points. And at the same time, they were doing an exceptional job with cap management. So despite having the slower tanks, somehow, whenever GB tried to get that point advantage, there was a cross-map play ensuring parity for Rory.
Yeah, I mean Zonk even fired 3 shells. I don't know if you noticed that, but 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean
great
1
job.
versus 3, great job. I mean, it would have been 1. I mean, it could have been 1, but 3. That's not a stat that GB would be proud of. But at the same time, Rory, great counter push through the middle. I'm like, yeah, Rory should have this, but things could be different in the second battle, as we see GB now dropping a back chat in favor of I can't remember at the top of my head what tank they have substituted from. Maybe a WZ-72 they have now changed into, but Rory would probably do a similar lineup here. It's the second battle. Rory so far leading 1-0. 3 more battles to go. 3 more wins to go before they get the coveted in-game clan logo.
So stakes couldn't be higher here for either team. And now as the battle starts, we see that IS-4 being picked up by Zonk that did a beautiful job in that WZTD during the last round. And obviously for GV, they have to shake themselves a little bit. That tactic with the triple light tank just not working out, the engagement not to be found. Top 9 immediately dropping down in towards, I guess, the canal, and is going to be playing rather close. Triple tank spotted for GB, but the first damage actually taken by Arisu in that WZTD. That's gotta hurt.
That is very painful indeed. Rome not spotted, will be driving into it, getting the cap, but Rory will get C right at the beginning, and that will give them the cap lead, and GB unable to get B for now, but if they can, that means GB will get the cap lead back, and Rory might have to send someone over to D, and I think that will be the responsibility of Wadu in that T100 LT, as GB tries again to capture B, and do they do it? Do they cap B? And they do.
Exactly. Another reset coming in, but finally cap B and also A do get taken by GV, who are currently down 2k HP thanks to that initial punishment on towards that WZTD. And I believe the T100 is going to arrive momentarily in D. There we see it. He is going to somewhat equalize the cap points here, but obviously this is just going to decrease the time that we all have until the battle might be finishing. Good shots into Shenlong, so those long-range shots by Rory really finding their mark in this second game here on Canal. Zonk does get pushed up, but little does he know, there is a lot of tanks headed his way. He might be in yet another problematic position if there is not enough people to help him. Oh, big hits coming in. Zonk really taking a punishment. Zuha is probably going to finish him off in another shot or two, and that would mean that in the end it's going to be GB with the tank advantage to start it off.
It is indeed, and it's a really brilliant start for GB, but they're going to lose Zuha very soon. He is in the one shot, although both teams have 2 caps in their hand. This could flip very quickly, and Rory having some breathing space here. Oh, but he lost Supernova, which is not good at all. Zuha limping into this held down position. Keys ready to send Zuha back to the garage, and Zuha dodged the shell. Keys takes a big one. GV hanging on with the cap points and the hit point pool lead.
Yeah, Zuha definitely playing it with fire here, but so far not burning himself. He's trying to stay in the game to keep that point lead that GB currently have. So normally it's not them who have to make a move. They also have 2 more guns than the opponents. This should mean that, you know, they can comfortably put in some crossfires. Good shot by Rome to start it off against top 9 in that Rhino, who is pushing in that Italian auto reloader. And also the information is going to mean that Espa as well as Cologne, both of them can reverse and can react on towards that push by the Rhino. And now Rory kind of pressured for time. They're down 100 points. They need to do something, anything, but so far they're not finding an opening. That's also thanks towards that double light tank from GB, as Espa and top 9 are going to start engaging here. But top 9, ooh, Ooh, that was not very good because Rome is also there from the back lines and overstays as welcome.
Wow. And I mean, now Rory's now going for Shenlong. Shenlong's they're down to one shot. GB still the hit point fully and the cap lead, but Rory, if they can get all the tanks out here, things could flip very, very quickly. Ares is down, Esmer's down, 5 versus 4. Suddenly, Rory back with a blow, and Suha is also out of the fight suddenly. Things are looking very bleak on GB. Cologne has to land their shell, takes out top 9. But time is running out, and Rome has to hang on in that bad shot. He cannot make any stupid mistakes here. Takes one from Wadu. Rory, how have they managed to bring this back? Cologne down to one shot. Wadu also a one shot, but Rory is finding Cologne isolated, and he is back in the garage, and they are now looking to send Monk back to the garage as well. And it is now a 3 versus 2 situation. Rory 973 cap points with that kill is enough to bring them another victory tonight.
Exactly. Wow. Another close round here. Second one on Canal, and yeah, Rory taking a point number 2, so maybe Canal their map. I don't believe that in this stage of the tournament the teams are able to pick and ban, so maybe, you know, GV don't like Canal, but for Rory, I mean, this round number 2, somewhat of an incredible comeback. Like, everything was looking like it was not going in their favor, and all of a sudden they put the pedal to the metal, put the foot down, and they managed to somehow surprise the team of GV that had double eye tanks. So all information, they had more guns, and still Rory with 3 players remaining at the end.
Definitely very surprised how that turned around, how that was turned around. GB had all the advantage with the guns, the hit points, caps. What went wrong terribly for them? Probably not because of them making some major mistakes. It's because Rory focused fire really, really well in that last minute, and suddenly gave them a really good, good lead in the hit points and cap points, and that's something that you might have to do at the very last minute. I'm afraid. Kills and caps become all the more important at the dying stages of a battle, but I think GB will be very happy to know that Desert is the next map coming up, because this is a totally different map than Canal. It's a lot less cap based, and it's a lot more brawl oriented. I think that's what you saw on the NA server as well. A majority of the brawls happen around that desert area, the A area, with so much undulation and also some dunes. Great for hold down tanks. Also very open area. Good area to do crossfire. So will GV make use of this map?
We'll have to see. It's also interesting to me that Desert Sands, for the simple reason that the WZTD as a tank struggles on it. Not only is it super open, which means that it can get flanked, but also like it's kind of awkward over those dunes to actually get the gun elevation and depression angles to work. And obviously, if you have to use gun elevation, that means you unangle your roof, making yourself extremely susceptible to counterfire. Lineup wise, one has to be double VK72, quadruple WZ for Rory, and for GV we see double Batchat together with triple IS7. Hold down power coming strong by GV plus double WZTD.
Definitely. Let's take a look at the double Batchats of GB now. Wadu has just spotted Rome, has just spotted Monk going straight into A to capture the base, of course. What else can he do going into A? Of course he's going to get a cap lead for GV, but Rory will spend no time to capture C. They are not going to hesitate, and they're going to go for B as well. They're going to be a bit more ambitious. Nope, they're going past B, top 9, looking for that held down position. But will any tanks behind him get B? Not at the moment. They don't have the cap lead, and this will be a bit of a tough one for them, because because GB has the A cap, has the cap lead over A. Oh, shot onto Wadu. It's a bit of a major mistake from him. Not sure. But Rory has to rotate out in the open, and that's a really big issue for them.
Oh, good shot by Zonk coming in on towards Shenlong. The IS7 not completely hold down, takes one to the face. So a bit of damage taken by either side, but yes, GV currently with the cap timing advantage, and obviously B being the way it is, this means that, well, Rory, they cannot really cap it. It's too open. This obviously is good when you have it under control, like when it is in your possession, then resetting it becomes absolutely easy. But yeah, that STB here, once again, with the overextension, Wadu playing a dangerous game and absolutely getting punished for it. That double bat shot really turning on the light bulbs on the enemy team. And Arisu now caught out in a pickle as well as B does get capped. I was talking about how open it was, but Song has found a position with a bush to cover him, and this is terrible for GV, because all of a sudden they are now the ones that need to make a move, and Injustice, I'm not sure I like his position. Maybe he should contemplate on driving back a little bit to not get caught out.
Oh, good shots onto Zong, but there's only one connected. But now Rory can sit and defend, as they got both B and C, but let's take a look at Cologne. He is sneakily driving into the city area alone. But he will get important information for GV. And GV, they don't have a lot of time left. 10 cap points for 2 seconds of increase, less than a minute to go before they absolutely need to make a push. And they're looking to get that push here. Double bat shots, looking for Atomic and Wadu. They have to take a deep breath if they want to go in, because it is going to be a tough one rushing them.
It is indeed going to be a tough one as the double bat shot starts cresting, and now the problem of the STB having lost HP before this all started becomes apparent immediately. The STB getting clipped, getting taken out here, and Monk with the first non-connection, but is going to unclip on towards the WZTD, which is opening up the middle here for the team of Rory. They're trying to get counter kills in, but Cologne at Espa with the sidesteps. Actually, Cologne in the 1 versus 2 here against the WZTDs. Maybe he's bitten off more than he can chew, as Rome coming in as well. Once again, the bat shot loaded from the back. He's going to take out the WZTD maybe at some point in time. Rolls low. That is not what he wanted to have happened. An absolute battle of mayhem here. Currently GV with the HP disadvantage, but they still have 6 guns alive and kicking. Injustice getting backstabbed. Another kill going GV's way. Only 3 remaining for Rory.
Oh wow, suddenly things become so heated up. GV got C, very important cap here. Rory was having 2 caps at the majority of this battle, but now GV got C. Things have turned. GV now with the cap advantage, with the hit point pool advantage, not really with the hit point pool advantage, with the vertical advantage. Rory, and they turn this one around. Rome coming in, looking for keys, and can he get keys here? No, he's going to stop keys from getting C. Arisu is now out, and it's now 2 versus 3 situation. Rome still doing 1-on-1 with keys. He cannot afford to die here. Takes one, but Rory actually gets the win with the caps. GV unable to bring it back. Scoreline suddenly became 3-0. Oh my goodness me, I thought GV had this one in the bag.
They did get that really good engagement on towards that STB, and I think getting that damage early on it was kind of what sparked them into that reaction, going over north. However, they just were lacking the sustain, the punching power at the end of the day against that VK72 plus WZTD combination. They were not able to get the guns out like quickly enough, and then the problems start becoming apparent for them, right? Because in a prolonged battle, this is actually when those WZTDs, when those VK72s start shining with the armor that they bring, the brutal alpha damage through which you're just able to blast away one of those enemy tanks. Super close, but yeah, Rory managing to hold on, and by this they actually managed to get the 3-0 on the board, and that's got to be kind of tilting here for GV, because it felt like they were close every single time, and yet again they fell short every single time. So it's going to be match point for Rory, and GV now starting to stare into the grim abyss of tournament elimination.
And actually, for information key hand, we have on the APAC server, we have this kind of group stage curse. The curse is that whoever finishes first in a professionals tournament gets 4th in the final stage. So,
and let me guess, that was GV.
Yes, GV got first in the professionals tournament. They are.
Oh no!
They are very close in getting that curse again. But
Uh,
for those of you who have watched my streams a long time, we all know Berlin's pep talk. This is the moment to do a good pep talk. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works. Match point here for the team of Rory, and that means everything that is required from GB is just a full-on remontada. They need the 4-0 clean sweep, otherwise it's all going to be over. Game number 2 in Desert Sands, and starting off with a Batchat triple STB double concept and the WZ. That's a lot of hold down power for Rory here, and GB are going to counter that with double Batchat, 1IS4, 1IS, double IS7 actually, plus double WZTD. So a very nimble lineup coming in by Rory, but it obviously means that they are going to be very mobile. They will have the advantage with the first shots over those ridge lines, but they need to make it count because they're starting with less HP and less armor.
And I think GB are looking for a brawl over the desert area. They sent everyone to that area. Double TDs, as you said, might struggle a bit with the terrain, but we will see if that's the case and whether GB is going to make a push right at the start. But I think Rory knows what they are doing, so they're going to rotate backwards. They're going to run away. Will they run away unscathed? I think they will.
The fact that GV got spotted as soon as they did, they basically called with a landline to Rory's houses and we're like, yo, we're gonna push over the field. Currently the cap's still going for Rory here, so they don't need to do a whole lot except like try and trade on turret. They do have the IS-4 nicely at the plane in that super hold down location, and that double concept 1B needs to be kind of careful here, I think, because this nimble lineup by GV as well with that double Batchat, they can just crossfire. And yes, hold down frontally, concept 1B, great armor, but everything else, well, not so great.
And I think GB is looking to make a push onto the double STB1s. Suha making a call here, going in immediately, but he's the focus for Rory and misses the shots onto Atomic. Atomic, big HE shell into Atomic, but Suha is the first tank down. This has descended into Dog's dinner as Rory looking for Cologne now, and GB, that push doesn't seem to quite work out. Rory bites back. Keys is now out 5 versus 5, and we're seeing Erisu also of the fight as well. GB now looking for top 9. This is very close. 4 versus 4 now. Anyone's game. Aspa also out of the fight.
Cap points currently into no one's interest as the fight is just in full on blast here on the western part of Desert Sands. Injustice looking for Rome in that Batchat, and Wadu also coming in with a fully loaded clip. But at the end of the day, Rory still with 4 tanks against the 2 of GV that are fighting for tournament survival against tournament elimination. But with 4 tanks remaining and 4,300 HP still left to work with, Rory are not going to stop. They're going to lock this one in instead. Shenlong probably the next one to go down as Wadu chases down Monk. He's going to be reloaded. First shot goes into the dust of Desert Sands, but little is it going to matter. Fallen from downtown with the last kill of the match. It is going to be Rory all the way, smashing GV to the ground 4-0.
Congratulations to Rory on getting their in-game clan logo, and they are firmly through to tomorrow's games, waiting in the lobby, in the lower bracket final, whoever they meet tomorrow at the start. They don't want to underestimate Rory. Look at how well they position themselves, and they can also come back in dire situations. They are not the ones to underestimate. They are not the ones that you should take less notice of. They can come back whenever they want. And 4 tanks doing more than 2k. GB only 2 tanks doing more than 2k. They wanted to make a big push at the start, but Rory set themselves up really nicely to stop that from happening. And we had to say goodbye to GB, coming in 4th place. And also GB will receive the Notorious group stage curse. 1st in the professionals tournament, but 4th in Blitz X Cup. Commiserations.
I mean, you gotta wonder if GV in that last game was a bit tilted. Like, that seemed like an all-in push, and it's kind of one of those calls that you make, like, yo, nothing's been working so far, let's let's try this, and if it works, it works. Good, we continue playing. But if it doesn't, well, at least it's over quickly. It looked like they were kind of a bit tilted, and to be honest, I understand it because the 3 rounds before, like every single one of those was a nail biter. It went absolutely down to the wire. It was balls to the walls, crazy. But this one, yeah, it was not close. It was just, you know, GV, as I said it in the game, they were calling the landline phones, and they were like, yeah, guys, we're pushing here. And Rory was like, all right, be our guest. And I mean, the rest, we all know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, GV wanted to keep on pushing, but I mean, it's going to be a really tough one for them to do so, and they hesitated. I mean, I can see them just stopping in the middle. Like, are they in good positions? Maybe, but Rory just completely ready. They just don't need to lose unnecessary hit points. I mean, some of the battles we saw here, Rory lost some unnecessary hit points, but what they did really well, they just did really good focus fire. They did not panic when that happened. They kept their heads up high. They calmly assessed the situation, and they did that really well in a couple of occasions. So,
and this is also one of the problems that comes in with like pushing with WZTDs into mediums, right? Because like, yeah, no doubt about it, WZTD, great tank. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But as soon as you try pushing into the open against medium tanks, you're just dead in the water, essentially. You get double tracked, you just get farmed completely. You probably end up taking like 1 or 2 big ones by the enemy WZTDs that are not getting flanked currently because they're not pushing. So, yeah, GV with, I mean, kind of an unfortunate showing in this lower bracket here, and we're gonna have to say goodbye to them. And I think Rory, at least for the time being, proving that they're the team in the better form. However, that was the lower bracket. Now we have a little bit of a treat on our hands, I think, to finish off the day. It's going to be the upper bracket final. What are your thoughts on those teams?
I always say the upper bracket final in at this stage is probably the least important match, because you can still play tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. I think the only stake at hand will be to at least secure that second place. And of course, this season, the prize pool is a lot higher than the previous one, so maybe the stakes this season will be higher. But it's not the end of the world if you lose this upper bracket final. At least you're in the top 3. You have the in-game clan logo. You have at least how much money do you have? Let me see.
I think you go from
13,000.
Yeah, I think, however, going from 3 to 2 is doubling your money. I believe you go from 13 to 26k.
Yeah.
And we use in PC, we actually use the same system, like double elimination for the final stages. And it, like, I think the win rate of the team coming through the upper bracket, so winning that upper bracket final, is for us like 2/3 at the very least, which is obviously down to, well, one, it's likely that the better team wins the match, so they go on towards the final, and then they are more likely to win the final as well. But the other thing is as well that you play less games, you play less matches, and by doing that, you actually show like less tactics. For example, obviously the map pool is pretty big with 19, so you might end up not playing the same maps that you did in like some other matches, but that is another factor. Like having to show more of what you've cooked up can be quite the disadvantage.
Yes, so I would expect teams at this stage not to show their all. I do see before, like, a team winning like 4-0 in the upper bracket final, only to lose the grand final. So I don't think we should take this match. I don't want to say don't take it too seriously, but in another sense, you don't want to put a lot of like emphasis on this one. You have to be a bit cautious. You don't want to show everything here yet, because there's a good chance we will see both RISQ and ICFC in the grand final tomorrow. So
would you say they are currently the best teams on the APAC server?
I mean, yes, obviously ICFC won the season last season, and RISQ 6 out of 8 seasons won between 2022 and 2023. Both of them are really huge contenders for this tournament.
Let's go then. Upper bracket final. When do we start, roughly?
9 UTC plus 8, so we still have like 30 minutes to go. And yeah, what else do I want to say? I would probably save some energy for tomorrow. But
All right, because I would also need a quick bio break. So
Oh,
let's
yeah.
maybe do that.
yeah, let's do a break, and I will say goodbye to you for now, and I will have you join back about like 5 minutes before the next one.
All right, see you then.
See you then. All right, so I think at this stage, because we have so much time, we're probably going to analyze one battle. I kind of wanted to analyze the G versus Rory's one, but I think I will leave you to tell me which one battle you want me to analyze. I'm going to change the graphics on the stream so that I'll be ready for the next fight. So go away and not go away. Go ahead and type in the battle you want me to analyze in the chat now. I think we should analyze some of the GB versus Risk battles. I think they're good. I'm going to analyze the sixth one because what else? Yeah, I'm just randomly picking a battle to analyze. We still have some time. I might do two if time is allowed. So yeah, I'm just going to set everything up and we will begin analyzing, shall we? Just going to get. Okay. I hope it's not going to crash my stream, but no one wants that to happen. However, if that happens, I will reboot my computer, my laptop. The stream won't end yet, so but if that happens, hop over to the other stream to get your rewards. But if you stay here, it will still go on. So don't worry about that. If my stream does crash, it doesn't automatically end. I have set my stream not to automatically end if my computer crashes. So so don't worry. But I might be offline for a couple of minutes. So I hope you're aware of something like this happening, but don't panic. Hopefully that is still going to be enough for you to get all 3 keys, but but just a bit of a disclaimer before I begin analyzing. The resolution is not high. I don't want to set it any higher because I already have so many things happening, running in the background, so apologies for that. But let's take a look at the 6th battle of GB versus Risk in the upper bracket first round. So let's bring it on. Alright, let's go. Risk with Sex Tuple, WZAD's F-Server, of course. He loves his light tag. Why would you want to put F-Server in the WZTD? He would probably flop in that tag. I'm just joking. I don't think he will play terribly in that tag, but F-Server has to play in the battle. Yeah, no question about that. Oh yeah, I totally missed that. Rome going up that hill and trying to get the spot for the team. It didn't quite work out for them, but maybe we'll see that on the EU server. But I think this is mainly done to spot tanks going into C. If you're wondering why Rome is doing that, okay. But at the same time, you know, bad chance. I love them to do some spotting at the beginning, and that's what a lot of teams do. Some of them just go straight into the cap, but you will risk, no pun intended, you will risk losing that information right at the start. And that can sometimes make a huge difference when it comes to like making the push right at the beginning, as GB did in that second battle of Dynasty's Power.
Yep, and immediately he's going to get sent towards the field again in the bush. This time, however, doesn't spot anything, and that is due to the fact that GV have set their sights on towards that northern part of the map that does hold B and C. And I believe GB, they should have a rather easy job of securing C. B, a kind of different question. We do see some...
Oh, well, that's a bit of a great positioning from Risk. Nitroglycerin, Sophie, working in tandem to shut down Monk here, trying to cross. I would not have called for that, to be fair. I would probably stay at the back. I would maybe this position or maybe one of these houses there. I mean, these positions would be good for you to reset B. If you want to go into B, then I would not tell Monk to do that job because he's like behind Shenlong, and Shenlong is probably going to be able to get B without getting punched by these two tanks. So a bit of a mistake, I would say. Not because of Monk. Maybe the caller told him to do that. I would not have gone for that, to be fair.
Light bulbs as well. GD already taking 2 hits by those WZTDs. Not the best start of the round for Monk here.
Definitely not, but that's not the end of the world yet, as GB will now capture... However, that could be a blessing in disguise, because GB knows there are at least 2 tanks, probably not near where Smart Potato is. So you will see a lot on the EU server in the next couple of days. Teams lining up to shoot whoever tries to cross here. So whoever crosses here will come at huge cost, but not at this moment in time. Risk are not in positions to do that, so I think this is a gamble that GB took, and it worked for them really, really well. See to bring the cap point deficit within reach, and GB is now trying to get aggressive over the Smack Potato. Maybe a good idea to do that. RISQ are not in position to do crossfire to shut down that push. Suha misses the shots, and RISQ is trying to rotate back as quickly as they could. And but still, bear in mind, RISQ does not have to hit. RISQ has to hit cap lead. They just have to stay safe. They're now lining up. Hopefully, the WZ TDC are going to do crossfire to whoever tries to push Smut Potato. And I think they're banking on GB to hesitate in this moment in time. But today, let's find out. GB unable to do any damage to RISQ so far.
I mean, for GB here, the pain train, it needs to get rolling. The Sharks have enclosed on towards Smurf Potato that is able to get another good shot here, but the reactive armor running out means that he's going to take a lot of damage rather soon, but double...
Great communication here. I mean, some of you who were in my who are watching here, who were in my club just a couple of years ago. Fish is in full effect here. So what it means is that these three tanks, they can't push. Because the WZTDs are looking at that diligently. So they are essentially what I call a fish. So in that sense, when something is fish, then you need to, the other side needs to start pushing, and that's where Esper comes in and puts a big one onto Smut Potato, and now the attention is turning onto Esper. So now these three tanks are freed up, and now they can push in, and that's how they coordinate this push, and Smut Potato is no more. But that's just only a tiny part of this battle. It's not like a game-changing, game-defining win here. Because the hit points are still relatively close, and both teams traded relatively equally, so it's not the end for RISQ yet.
WZTD by RISQ actually with that crossfire 1100 into the potato and the WZTD, and on the cross map play we do see that RISQ are reacting, but are they doing that fast enough here? Faced with a match point, GB respond with the first kill of the game.
And RISQ got beat at the same time, and time is taking for GB. They need to get great one, great call for Esper to link up with RISQ. And I think RISQ an issue here is that they are not linking up with one another. But that made it really easy for GB to focus fire and take out the isolated tanks. You have the double TDs, Lisa, and Sophie isolated near B. Those three TDs sitting at the back, not really helping both Lisa and Lisa. And it's just on GB whether they can focus fire really well. And I think even with RISQ getting 2 caps, I don't think it's going to help them a lot. They're going to lose these tanks really, really quickly, and they have to hope they can take out some of the tanks. And in a numerical disadvantage, they have like numerical disadvantage on both sides, to be fair. So it's really not looking good for RISQ. So what I would have done, probably the TD should have pushed up, should have been a bit more aggressive, hoping that they can link up with those WZTDs, and they are not linking up at the moment, but the GB tanks are, and that's the main difference here. That means they need to get the kills, and now Sophie is the focus for GB. GB now pushing into the mid to hit points in favor of GB, but they cannot waste any more time. RISQ will try and get Suha and Cologne out of the way. I mean, look at that. I mean, Cologne. Oh no, sorry. Are they looking at? Yeah, I think they're showing the backs towards these tanks here. So I forget what I'm going to say. But Shenlong is also out of the fight. Erisu takes one, and GB now looking for Lisa, or maybe the F Silver. I don't know. And still a complete mayhem in this battle.
Complete mayhem happening as RISQ do equalize the scoreline in terms of tanks, and now Cologne needs to be careful. Double WZTD very close as Bifrost gets pushed by Suha here. The i7 not quite reloaded yet, but I don't think the WZTD has the alpha to pick it up, as he does actually. Yeah, so I think this is just a done deal yet. No, the hit points are still really, really close. But GB had a really strong advantage now. They also got B. They took control of B area. They will lose Cologne very soon, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Rome
and Rome F Silver will have to be careful. It's a 1v1, potentially Rome could be taken out. So I think Rome will have to, you know, wait a bit, allow Esper not Monk to come into support Rome, and RISQ actually might be able to steal that from the grasp of GB.
Actually, Cologne with the flank once again with another kill coming through, but GB still 4 tanks alive, and they do have a very healthy WZTDF Silver out of shells here. So is Rome. So
Great job to Cologne for connecting, and yeah, that's a pretty much done deal, I'm afraid. So well done, GB connected with one another really well. That's something that is sorely missed against Rory, which I think is something I should analyze next. Let's take a look at the first battle of Rory versus GB, and on that sense, because I was thinking GB had all the advantage they had, but what happened there? What went so wrong for GB despite having some big advantage here? So let's analyze. We still have some time, maybe about 10 minutes. We're going to make it really, really quick here.
double bat chat together with triple IS7 hold down power coming strong by GB plus double WZTD.
Definitely. Let's take a look at the double bat shots of GB now. Wadu has to spot Rome, as he spotted Mon going straight into A to capture the base, of course. What else can he do going into A? Of course he's going to get a cap lead for GB, but Rory will spend no time to capture C. They are not going to hesitate, and they're going to go for B as well. They're going to be a bit more ambitious. Nope, they're going past B, top 9, looking for that held down position. But will any tanks behind him get B? Not at... Yeah, so what I said before, GB got the cap lead on A, and I always say it's a lot more difficult to rotate from the city side to the desert side compared to from the desert side to the city side. Main reason is that you have these buildings here to cover you, so that you don't get spotted in the you don't get spotted while defending a rotation. That's not the case for the desert side. You don't have a lot of high buildings to cover you. Those dunes are going to be very low, and the tanks there would be susceptible to be spotted. So I like what Rory is thinking here. What you will be seeing next is that Rory will get the B cap. Okay, so just fast forward because we don't have a lot of time left. Zonk capturing in that circle. A bit surprised that GB did not reset that. I'm just going to go back a bit so that you can see better. Yes, so basically you have these two flanks, these two sides of the dune that you could take to reset B. And you just have to coordinate with a teammate really well to chip away the hit points, and don't shoot at the same time, because sometimes that can allow that the enemy team to get that base. So I think there are two tanks. If I fast forward again, yes. So if you look at the minimap, they aren't really exactly taking those flanks of the dunes I'm talking about. There are two TDs. I think the airplane is kind of impeding the feed, and the TDs don't have like the best depression. So I think this is not working in their favor. Zonk is also unspotted, so that's not helpful at all. So Rory getting the B cap, knowing that if they push onto the desert side, it's going to be a really tough push. So they're going to bring the game back to GB, allowing them to push. But they still have the hit point pool lead despite Wadu being very, very low. Okay, so let's actually fast forward, because Cologne's going in. I like what he is doing to get the information for GB. Hit points are still in favor, but this is where the fun begins. And because it is going to be a tough one, rushing them.
It is indeed going to be a tough one as the double batch chat starts cresting, and now the problem of the SCP having lost HP before this all started becomes apparent immediately. The SCP getting clipped, getting taken out here, and Monk with the first...
And there we go. Great job for the double TDs of GB. Shenlong very low. Injustice still really, really healthy. And GB, they need to start coming in. They need to start coming together. Maybe this side they can't do anything, but For Cologne and Esper, they really need to start moving in. At the moment, GB is very, very isolated from one another, while Rory is recuperating, is regrouping, and I think they're now pushing on to Cologne, which is not a terrible choice, because that will mean that Injustice can take out those two tanks alone. So I think it's a good call for Rory.
Non-connection, but is going to unclip on towards the WZTD, which is opening up the middle here for the team of Rory. They're trying to get counter kills in, but Cologne and Espa with the sidesteps. Actually, Cologne in the 1 versus 2 here against the WZTDs. Maybe he's bitten off more than he can chew, as Rome coming in as well. Once again, the Batchat loaded from the back. He's going to take out the WZTD maybe at some...
Oh, that's a really, really low row. I think Rory was trying to do a HE shell at the backside of Zong. I don't know why he didn't do that, because it would have been a one-shot for him, but maybe he forgot to change that. Adrenaline is running really high. Don't forget, 2 caps still for Rory. All Rory needs to keep all the tanks alive. GB did really well with the hit point pool sharing. Look at that. Hit point pool share is so equal. So things are going really well for GB. That push was not bad at all, but they need to get the tanks out. GB are in danger of losing a lot of tanks in quick succession. Let's continue.
Point in time, rolls low. That is not what he wanted to have happened. An absolute battle of mayhem here. Currently, GB with the HP disadvantage, but they still have 6 guns alive and kicking. Injustice getting back.
So it's 3 versus 6 here.
Another kill going GB's way. Oh,
Esper died.
alive and kicking. Injustice getting backstep.
Where is... Oh, there it is.
Another kill going GB's way. Only 3 remaining for Rory.
Oh wow, suddenly things become so heated up. GB got the very important cap here. Rory was having 2 versus 5. I don't know how that happened, to be fair. 2 caps at the majority of this battle, but now GB got C. Things... Okay, so I think this is where things start to go very south for GB. Fallen should not be the focus for GB. It should be Keys. You don't want C to be captured. GB has the cap lead. They don't want to lose that cap lead. So for me, these 2 tanks should stay safe. Let the double Batchats deal with Keys. Okay, so those 2 tanks just have to work together. With the clip they have. I mean, Monk is probably a one-shot for one of the WZTDs, but there is also, yeah, there are only 4 tanks remaining. That's the only thing that they could do at Rome. Rome is not a one-shot, so Rome can try bait a shell from Keys. And yeah, things have turned. GB. Charisu is also not a one-shot, but has to be careful with this. Maybe just stay safe. I don't think both of them can. I mean, Shenlong is close to a one-shot. Now with the cap advantage, with the hit point pool advantage, not really with the hit point pool advantage. Oh, that was a good shot though. That was a good shot. With the vertical advantage, Rory, and they turn this one around. Rome coming in, looking for Keys, and can they get a kill? All they need, GB, 1 kill, but it's a bit tough one. And I don't know why Rome didn't go in, because Keys definitely shot and should have made use of that information to go. I think again, the nerves have kicked in this case. Keys here. No, he's going to stop Keys from getting C. Arisu is now out, and it's now 2 versus 3 situation. Rome still doing 1-on-1 with Keys. He cannot afford to die here. Yeah, I think I mean, it's good that Arisu puts a shot into one of the WZTDs, but I would totally ignore Fallen. Fallen is not the elephant in the room, it's Keys. Rome having no support. That clip's not going to be enough to kill Keys. He has to have another. It has to have a backup. Monk would be the best person in that job. Had Monk come in to support Rome, GB would have won that totally. They were rotating so well in this battle, only to have the nerves kick in and start to fall apart with the teamwork and the communication. And this is not what you want to happen. Rory at that point will be leading 3-0 it's a really tough hill to climb, unfortunately. Yeah, so well done to Rory for holding that to the end, but I have to say GB could have won that easily. So yeah, maybe a really good lesson to learn for GB. Just Rory looks a lot more composed, but also helped by the fact that they are leading at this point. So wow, yeah. So that's all for me. I think we only have 8 minutes to go, so we can have Keyhand back.
Hello.
Hello. Sophie has. Sophie has urged me to play the replay, but I will play a replay after this match because I hope we still have time to take a look at that. So apologies to Sophie. We're going to play a replay at the very end. Apologies for that. I'll play some of my mastery gameplays. I have so many mastery gameplays, so I can just throw them as I want. So sorry. Okay, so let's go back. So how's your break?
Very, very relaxed, to be honest. For you, probably normal, not so much so. Did you catch anything that we didn't catch in the live cast?
Yes, I did try to analyze the third battle of Rory versus GB, which I think we all thought GB at one point was so secure in that win, but I think I now know why.
All right, yeah, that one was, well, it looked so good for GB until it didn't, I guess.
Yes. And as I said on the stream, it was because Rome was unsupported. I would have gone for that because Keys was like keep capturing C. Like that was the main issue, and that was the priority in my opinion. But I think GP thought that Fallen was the more important one and spent way too long in taking out the WZTDs, which gave Rory the win. And that's what I said.
Now we're gonna go into the finals now, and to quote an expert opinion, I was writing with Amonet actually while you were analyzing, and her money is on RISQ. Now I don't know if the scorelines actually give that to us, because we saw like basically the team that was playing the other one, Rory, in the first semifinal of the upper bracket, now completely stomping GV 4-0. And if we go back, like GV against RISQ played a 4 versus 3, that would indicate they're kind of on the same level, and still Rory got beaten by team number 4. So let's wait and see what holds true here, actually.
Yes, definitely. And I think we will go into the next battle very soon. I'm just going to wait for the invite to come up. And yeah, I think for this one, let's have fun.
Yep. And hopefully the teams will have as well. Personally, I'm hoping once again for a tiebreaker, but you know, sometimes wishes do not come true. And we already had, like with the first match today, we had such an awesome opener. And like the second one, yeah, it was over quickly, but the rounds were so close actually. Like I don't think the 4-0 completely reflects like the strengths of the team in that one. I think it's a bit unfair towards GV, but I think they also ended up trying to get a bit ahead of themselves in the match. Now RISQ and ICFC, both of those, they're coming off of a victory here, and RISQ, they did have to go to tiebreaker, but sometimes that's like a bonding experience for the team. Sometimes that just helps them just grow closer together. I guess you can run us through the maps, and then we can continue talking about it.
Yes, definitely, but probably not too early yet, because this stream has a 3-minute delay, and I don't want to get into the room too early. So, so I think very quickly, let's go back, and I think we still have some time to get keys. Hopefully you still have some time to get the remaining keys. So going back, the instructions for rewards, so the links are in the description and in the pinned in the live chat, and also on the Wargaming's official Discord server. Of course, you have to enable targeted cookies, otherwise you will only see a grey screen. You must also log in on your Indian account on the right server to gain rewards, and the rewards counter has already started. Hopefully you're still in time to catch the last remaining key. 1 key is awarded every 55 minutes, and you can earn 3 keys in total. And there are no rewards.
1 key is on the stream here. Got him.
Nice for you. Nice. And again, we have to say that all the time. Probably we will repeat that every now and then. Tomorrow, you will receive no rewards for watching on YouTube. Bear that in mind. No rewards for watching on YouTube. Make sure you watch the stream on the portal. And I think it's high time to take a look at the team. So let's take a look at RISQ. So this is the team lineup. We have Sophie as the captain of the team. And then, now let's take a look at Team ICFC, the Chinese team. TJY is the captain of the team. Probably not Captain Low. He's not the de jure captain. But the first battle will begin on Vineyards. Very open map. Really good map for light tanks and medium tanks. You have that really big open area in the north western area and even central region, but you can have a really flat terrain over the southeast region. But that's usually where the C cap, that one, of course, that's always where the C cap is, and there might be a lot of leverage if you get the C cap. And judging at what both teams like to pick, I mean the way they play, I don't think that's going to be the case. ICFC is known for their brawls. It's known for their exceptional personal skills. RISQ probably might have something in mind. I don't know, but RISQ might be a lot tactically acute. Forgot the word. Adept, more tactically adept, and let's see what we're going to be seeing on Vineyards. Let's look at the lineups of both teams with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Sophie in the WZ, in the 3K72. She's not in the WZ, unfortunately. F Silver, obviously driving in the match chats, alongside with Lisa Mossa, Nitroglycerin and Smoked Potato in quadruple WZ TDs. Sugar Mugu in the AMX 50B. On the other side of ICFC, TJY in the back chat, Captain Low in the Crown Wagon, and we have double WZTDs with Careful, Super Nub, and WWR. It's a triple WZTD, sorry. Monkey King is in the IS7, and it's also in the back chats. And I have actually prepared some stuff about the team names. I have prepared the most for GV. Unfortunately, they are up, so I cannot say much about them. But yeah, what do you think about this lineup?
So coming into this one, obviously 50B is quite the curious pick. I think Krandang is a little more standard, so we'll have to wait and see what RISQ actually do with the French T10 autoloader. Other than that, I think no big surprises. WZTD sprinkled all over. Then we have a super heavy for RISQ with a BK72 and Silver. I mean, playing his, I guess you could say, signature tank by now. And on the other side, notably double Batchat. So it's going to be double auto-loading light tank against a singular one. Also a double, a singular IS7, which is going to be nice to get those hold down spots out. But you said it, it's probably going to be a bit more of a tactical approach by RISQ. So they are going to be trying to play around the map a little bit more, and for ICFC it's just all-out brute brawling power. Now Vineyards, there usually is a lot of open ground to cover to be able to get to those brawls. So maybe slightly favoring RISQ, but obviously the truth of the matter always lies in the game. So upper bracket final of the Blitz X APAC Cup, and we are starting off on Vineyards, RISQ against ICFC.
Definitely. And RISQ versus ICFC. RISQ, Southside, F Silver in the back chat, hopefully going into B right at the start of the game. Meanwhile, ICFC is going to send a lot of the tanks over. Oh, F Silver not going for the cap yet. He is going for the spots, but TJY is going to join him. Oh, will we see shots firing? No. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, F Silver did spot tanks crossing into C.
He did spot tanks. He didn't see the Batchat, so that's going to be still a question mark for the team of RISQ. But now this also translates into no caps being taken by either team, and Sophie very far hanging back in that BK72, so is not going to be able to stop the capture. At the same time, not in any immediate danger of getting overpushed. So kind of a RISQ reward play out here as B finally gets taken by RISQ. So we are going to have cap against cap, singular. But the advantage is going to lie with the team in blue, with the boys from China. It's going to be with ICFC.
and Eat is going to devour that C cap, getting them the cap lead. And Smurf Potato spotted, looking very juicy, and juicy it is for ICFC. Takes another one. Smurf Potato has to be careful not to be converted into a potato chip, and Captain Lu takes one as well.
Yeah, so after both caps do end up being taken, ICFC now with a slight tactical advantage of having dealt more damage against one of those high-value targets on the team of RISQ, those WZTDs. Don't want to lose them too early on, and I think ICFC are not looking to stop right now with a rotation towards the A cap side. TJ does spot out Lisa in the WZ. Obviously, the light tank camouflage is going to work beautifully here. He does get more information, but damage gets taken on that 50B. Sugu here peeking into the WZTD and paying a lot for it, but is able to retaliate at least somewhat.
Oh, make sure onto nitroglycerin as well, but nitroglycerin cannot return fire to land poisonous shots onto WWR. WWR is going to go back into safety, but RISQ, I think they're feeling it. I think they're going to push, as the ICFC is also going to push. Lisa leading the push, but I think he is a bit isolated here. Oh, that is a botched push for RISQ. ICFC now bites back, and they're now in push and taking out Lisa. Not looking good for RISQ.
Indeed, Lisa getting taken out as the first kill of the game. Soon to follow to the grave is Monkey King in that IS-7 as the Kranwagen of Captain Low gets pushed. Nitroglycerin and Mozza with the double whammy on towards him, and obviously that Kranwagen is not going to live long, but TJ has something to say about that. Rams himself to death. The self-kill coming in. Mozza with another kill, and now Icy has to do it all against Mozza, who's on the one shot.
I'm afraid there are lots of 999 calls here, as WWR is next to be teleported back to the garage in an ambulance, with ICT careful now the focus for Mousa and Sophie. But how is he still full health here, looking to land the entire shell onto Sophie, but Super Nub is out. Careful is also out, and suddenly RISQ is on the advantage here. I thought ICT had found the weakness in RISQ's lineup.
It really did look like ICFC had found an opening, but RISQ responding beautifully up on towards that push. And you gotta wonder, this engagement there in the northeast that ICFC was trying to pull off, that one, yeah, it looked so good at the start. Lisa with a slight overcommitment, but all of a sudden, that seems like it was all part of the plan here for RISQ, who responded beautifully, taking over pushes, taking over matches all around the map. Good first round by them, and yeah, a very tactical round as well. So good calls by the FC of RISQ.
I mean, RISQ, what they did really well in the last minute, great hip on push sharing. I think ICFC, I mean, the counter push could have worked brilliantly, but that kill of TJY, I think, ramming himself to death doesn't help matters at all. So sometimes adrenaline can override your rationality, and I think sometimes, I mean, maybe it happens to GV in the previous game as well, you need to keep your adrenaline in check.
Exactly. TJY with an absolute overcommitment in that bat chat. He's not going to be happy with what he did. However, what we are going to be happy with is something to talk about. WZ113 being picked up by Sophie.
Yes, very interesting choice here. We don't see WZ113 a lot these days. I mean, it used to be like part of the meta back in like 2019, if I remember correctly. It is a tank with high DPM, but it does not traverse well. So with map like Vineyards, if Sophie is forced to receive a brawl, then she's not going to be happy about that, because she has to turn around very slowly. So I think RISQ might want to play aggressive with this setup, and ICFC, I think, pretty much taking similar tanks, dropping that bad chat in favor of TJY in that singular bad chat. Let's see how both teams play in the second battle of Vineyards.
All right, so game number 2 here in the upper bracket finals, and RISQ currently with the 1-0 score line, looking to extend that one. And for ICFC, no points so far, but I don't think they're going to be too disheartened yet. It is game 2 of the best of 7. So let's hop into it and let's see if ICFC are going to go for that juicy middle B cap, or if RISQ has something to say about that with a batch out of F Silver.
And of course, he's in the batch chat, so there's no question about that. But TJY, the question is, will TJY get the B cap first? And I think he will. F Silver tried to spot tanks going into the northwestern corner, but no one's going there. Nitroglycerin taking A. That's still information for RISQ, mind you, but Sophie, look at her, going straight into B without any hesitation at all. I think also helped by the fact that F Silver spotted nothing, so she can roam around that area without any consequences at all.
Yeah, Sophie definitely on a roll there, on a journey, and now F Silver trying to spot something in the city, because I think he is quite acutely aware that something is a foul in the state of Denmark, and now TJY getting spotted out. He is going to want to stay safe, but that triple WZTD that ICFC have positioned there, quite the menace if they do get spotted, and ICD Careful does get spotted, but he's able to capture the C cap, so now ICFC can sort of hang back and wait for what RISQ is cooking up, and that seems to be an eastern push with basically everyone safe, Sophie.
Yes, RISQ are stacking up near the eastern area as ICFC, they don't know that a push could come, but they have to be ready for this. And I think they sense that something is not looking right, and they're now rotating away, but not careful though. Uh-oh, is he in deep trouble? Big shot to Shugamugu dumps that shot. Not the best shot here. A couple of bounces as well, so careful. It's pretty careful here, living up to what his name suggests, and RISQ push seems to have been thwarted.
Exactly, but now Careful taking a lot of damage, actually down towards 183, just a whisk away from death. Monkey King with that IS-7 trying to brawl against Lisa. Lisa who takes a big one by Careful. Staying alive is working out well for him. And now the counter push coming in by RISQ. They obviously have the majority of their forces here. Sophie and Silver out of the game as the brawl ensues. Absolute chaos. Smurf tries going for Careful. Is he finally going to take him out of the game? Is the question. Noah Bounce coming out, securing Careful's survival, and now all of a sudden things are going awry for RISQ. A couple one-shots that are sure to get cleaned up by this team of ICFC, who have absolutely reacted wonderfully.
Oh, and Shugamugu gets ammo racked. Not looking good for RISQ at all. ICFC completely dominating the sea outside. Mozzarella, unfortunately, will be turned into a piece of topping. And Sophie and F Silver coming in to stop that from happening. Unfortunately, ICFC will have a nice slice of pizza, and F Silver looking to get Monkey King out of the way. Rams him to death, takes 369 damage in the end. Sophie, the unfortunate focus for ICFC. TJY looking for F Silver. He's not Silver anymore. He's becoming I don't know, a worse battle.
I mean, he's turning gold before he turns into a cookie, and now, all of a sudden, just like that, ICFC with a convincing round number 2, take it back. And man, Careful in that WZTD, absolutely tanking like a champ, probably humming to the tune of Staying Alive.
Yeah, I agree with that. He actually dished out 2.7k damage. He could have been a goner in the first couple of seconds of that RISQ push. Didn't quite work out for RISQ at all. There is also Sophie very far back. I don't really understand that choice, to be fair. That matchup I could understand, trying to get the caps, trying to pile pressure onto ICFC, but you have to remember, ICFC is a clan that is so good with brawls and focus fire. You do not want to play into their advantage, and RISQ did play into that. And now it's 1-1.
It is indeed 1-1. We do have a match on our hands. So rounds getting traded on Vineyards, which means that now we are headed towards Oasis Palms. And at least on NA, that was quite an interesting map. because of damage taken immediately upon game start.
Yes, and Oasis Palms for me is a really open map, so I do expect some light tanks or medium tanks, but surprisingly, contrary to what we all expect, it's not a map that you will see lots of medium tanks or light tanks. I think a majority of those tanks should go for A and B caps because they're close to one another, and if you get both caps, that will provide you a lot of leverage in the map control. And I think this is what both teams are doing, and to my disappointment, RISQ is not taking light tank. F Silver is forced to take a WZTD. How dare they?
How dare they indeed. Sophie once again trying out the WZ-113. Well, if it doesn't work, try again until it does, I guess, together with that double super heavy of VK72. So those aren't really gonna run around the map, but those are rather going to play anchor, which leaves only the question, are they going to be the anchor for their team, or are they going to be the anchor dragging everyone down? And on the other side, Light Tank, obviously, together with Kran, VK72, and quadruple WZTD. So a lot of firepower on either side, but the spotting advantage currently towards the team from China.
Definitely, and RISQ is going to send pretty much everyone onto A cap. Meanwhile, ICFC is going to play it quite defensively. 3 tanks sitting quite close to spawn. TJY going to get the spots for the team. Spotted 2 tanks already. He himself is not spotted. So good information for ICFC. And RISQ really need that light tank to give them the information. So I'm afraid they have to play this one really aggressively for that lineup to work. But we will see. Very soon.
And the thing is, I mean, RISQ, they start off with more HP, but obviously the information is now starting to get gained by TJY. And this open ground that RISQ are going to have to cover to make it into a brawl, this might be what ends up costing them too much. As already Sugu taking one for his troubles from one of those WZTDs to from the back, but TJY here unable to flee fast enough from the watching eyes and the gun of Smurd Potato.
Definitely. And RISQ got A already. Captain Low got C quickly. But Sophie jumping straight into B. RISQ is trying to pile pressure onto ICFC with caps. Look at how cornered ICFC are. I do feel really worried for them. They're going to lose map control, but not if RISQ drops too many hit points.
Indeed, Smart Potato there trying to stay hold on in that VK72 as Sophie takes one by not even sure who it was, maybe WR with an AG or something. And now here the AG war has been started as one of the WZTDs for ICFC takes one as well. But all of this being said and done, Sophie taking more HE damage, yeah, that's kind of uncomfortable, but yeah, good blind shot coming into WWR, and also the fact of the matter remains, RISQ 2 caps, ICFC 1.
And let's do the maths. So 10 cap wins for 2 seconds of increase, so we have less than a minute to go before ICFC has to push. That was quite maths, isn't it? But time is running out for ICFC, but they have done really well in bleeding RISQ. Sophie down to 964 hit points. She has to stay safe. She cannot afford to lose any more hit points at ICFC. They have to keep this momentum, but they need to be quick in the counter push now.
They indeed need to be quick about it. I think the bad shot of TJ was the one shooting at Sophie, but now he gets found by Mozza, needs to run himself. That's the crossfire angle gone here for the team of ICFC that are now in push mode in that western part of the map, and the VK72 of Smurd Potato is going to be the first target, but there is a lot of tanks behind him, so Careful and Eat are going to have to play a beautiful game of Blitz to even stay alive here, as Monkey King is probably going to pick up Sophie, securing some time to work with for them, but they are under pressure, as on the other side the Batchat does get pushed. Now Smurd Potato is going to get collapsed upon, so finally the first kill actually going on towards Sophie. This is detrimental towards the team of ICFC regardless, because they're taking so much damage. Smirk not dead, down towards 8 HP, finally down.
Oh, not another bounce from RISQ, but Monkey King is finally out 5 versus 6. RISQ with 3 caps, all they need to do is survive, and it will be in for them. But ICFC, they have to hurry up in getting all the kills. At the moment, RISQ is very separated from one another, but they are able to connect to Careful, and that is enough to give them the win, bringing the scoreline to 2-1 in favor of RISQ.
And I think at the end of the day, not only taking a look at the cap points, but also the HP that were remaining on either team. RISQ was so far ahead in that department. So yeah, ICFC, they did a good job on Vineyards to come back. But here just completely getting played on Oasis Palms round number 1. However, now sides are going to be switched, and we're going to see if they will be able to respond to that. The Batchat picked the only light tank in this round, not really working out. So judging by the damage, it wasn't even the Batchat putting crossfire. It was the WZTDs maybe just hitting frontally. So yeah, TJY once again not able to make it work.
Yeah, and I think that push coming from ICFC, what we saw is that they're lighting up like one by one, so it looked like a vertical line from the RISQ perspective. And I don't know if you know this already, but is it from like the battleship strategies? Because it's a lot easier to focus fire when you're like in a horizontal line. When looking at a vertical line, it's just like one prominent tank in front, and I think this is what happens. This is from RISQ's perspective. I
mean, also, like to keep this in mind, like for a tank destroyer, and there were 2 behind Smurd Potato, basically lining it up. It makes it also so much easier because you don't have to turn your hull. Your gun dispersion does not get horrible. You just get to shoot on reload, essentially. So that was very, very nice for them. And then obviously the other thing that I would like to mention is that essentially ICFC ended up pushing into a super heavy. So that is a lot of HP to chew through. You have WZTDs shooting at you. So essentially it was the dream scenario for RISQ going on. But they put themselves into that prime position by having the cap pressure going. Yeah. So RISQ, good stuff. Definitely.
And I think that is the issue for ICFC last season again, as well, against Team ID. But the difference between RISQ and Team ID here is that RISQ, they have better, I think they have better focus fire and teamwork, and that shows brilliantly in the last battle. But this could be a totally different story because F Silver, look at what tank he's taking this time. Is it a WZTD?
No! Is it a VK-72? No! It is the Batchat. Once again, F Silver, probably a comfort pick for him at this point in time. Lisa is going to convert Cap C, is going to get a little bit of help by the Batchat, and for the team of ICFC, we see them going towards the northwest. Monkey King not yet getting committed on towards that B cap, but TJY, this time not in the Bat, but instead playing the STB1, is going to start up A, but this means point advantage currently for RISQ and Ticking.
Yes, and that gives RISQ the cap lead, and they always love their cap lead. I think this is going to be their main strategy against ICFC, because they know they can play really well with strats, and I think they are constantly putting ICFC under pressure. It's not like we haven't seen teams constantly being put under pressure with cap deficits, but you always have to play it with a huge risk. Pardon the pun. Is that you have to be always the one making the move, not the defending team. So I mean, Captain Low takes a hit already.
To keep in line with those analogies here, sometimes under pressure is where diamonds are formed, but currently ICFC breaking a bit under it, as Captain Low in that Kranwagen is, well, not dropping low, but the captain will still be unhappy as Lisa with an overextension. Good awareness by Monkey King in that IS-7 to put a shot into the back of the Concept 1B.
Wow, that was a really good position there. Although it's not going to be enough so far, trading-wise, RISQ still has a slight advantage, although inherently ICFC has higher hit points because they have more hit points at the start. But I think this is the first battle where we see very little action from both teams. I hope we don't see more of that tomorrow, but yeah, both teams only 1 cap and 5 cap points for 2 seconds to increase. So essentially around 2 minutes to go. Oh, Monkey King!
Oh.
Is that a mistake?
I don't know. I think that was an FC call for him to go in and take those shots, but he wasn't counting on taking that many. Down he goes. Good focus fire coming out from the team of RISQ. Now, however, Lisa is going to be the next one that probably drops as the reload timer goes down. He's going to do one more, takes one to the face as well, but the damage has been done here right now. That was a lot of bleed on towards ICFC, who are now scrambling to go towards that middle of the map to get more cap points.
And that wasn't a worthy trade in my opinion, because ICFC are on the cusp of losing 2 or even 3 more tanks, while RISQ, they still have a lot of tanks very healthy on the battlefield. And now Nitroglycerin is pulling back Captain Lowe's down to 1-shot Sugar, dropping the reactive armor, has to land the shell, and he does. And Eat is also very low. Great shot to Nitroglycerin, he's tracked. Great shot to Eat, but I think it's RISQ game.
I think so too, because the HP, they tell the name of the game, it is just so low for the team of ICFC, who are also starting to lose that A cap. The last one that they were holding on to, Eat, 1 more shot of damage, but that is not going to remedy it, as one of his teammates again bites the dust. 900 plus points for the team of RISQ. TJY pressured into a push that he probably doesn't want to do, wants to do it all, but it's not going to happen this time. RISQ are going to take the lead in this match. Match point 3-1.
Yes, really great performance by RISQ. ICFC, that was a huge gamble, not paid off. Yes, they found Lisa isolated, and that comes at 1B. But if you manage to kill a tank, but losing 1 in return and losing some more hit points, that kind of, you know, deletes, well, not deletes, that kind of removes the sole purpose of killing that tank, because the numbers are still even and you're not helping yourself at all. And I have to say, like, ICFC, they have to rotate from the A side onto the desert side, which, just like desert says, you have to rotate out in the open, so it's always a tall order for them. But I would not have made a call if I were the caller for ICFC.
And now, with the scoreline being what it is, match point for RISQ, ICFC kind of with their backs against the wall here. I mean, they do obviously have that safety net of still being in the upper bracket, but, well, taking the easier route to the grand finals, and obviously with that, by doing that, securing another $13,000 is obviously what both teams are out here for. And currently, RISQ, I mean, yeah, map number 1 Vineyards was split, but here on OSS Palms, it was just like not close. Just the tactical prowess, the pressure that they were exerting with those caps, just coming in clutch for them. And then the team of ICFC put into those, yeah, kind of awkward scenarios where you have to push against an entrenched enemy. That rarely works out. And I do agree with you, that push on towards the concept, not the best. It also felt kind of disjointed because the I-7 was basically dead before the rest of the tanks arrived, and there was no time pressure to pick up the concept 1B per se. Like, the I-7 could have waited a bit more. I was thinking maybe he's being sent in to like take all the shots so everyone else you know, is able to capitalize then, and, you know, he stays safe on 1 shot, but no, he just died, and after that, the trade wasn't good. Molenbeek, however, now our map 3, though.
It is the case, and I would say quadruple WZ for RISQ. Absolutely back in the bad chat, and they're going to be taking Crown and the SB1 as well. ICFC, they're going to be taking 1 light tank and a medium tank. So in terms of hit points, they still have the advantage because RISQ took quite a lot of WZTDs, and ICFC, they took the Crown and the Rhino.
Not too uncommon. Both of those are obviously annoying to push into. When they're hold down in front of you, then you need to overpush, take the clips. Maybe there's someone behind them that's also dishing out the damage. First of all, though, we see F Silver here, absolute signature player at this point in time, making yet another play. However, is this one a good one is the question. Good shot by him. My goodness, that boy is confident.
Definitely impressive shot indeed. It's like he is running and able to land that shot. That's impressive indeed. And TJY, however, will get C, so that will mean for the very first time tonight, ICFC will get a cap lead.
Indeed, and now we'll have to see how RISQ exactly are going to respond. First of all, Smurt is going to take the A cap in response. That's going to mean at least the rate at which they tick up is going to be the same, but the advantage nonetheless remains on the team of ICFC. This means that RISQ are going to have to take some of those, pardon my pun, to be able to secure the match win for them. And obviously ICFC, they're going to be quite content with what they have in this battle for now. That being said, the option to push while you don't need to is still there. Sometimes you can surprise your opponents with that, but they are not being pressured to do so. And judging by how the match has been going so far, that is probably good for them.
We can again do the maps. We have more time this time. 5 cap points for 2 seconds of increase. So how long do RISQ need to wait? Oh, before I say that, F Silver probably made a bit of a hiccup there. Took quite a beating, down to 823 hit points. So the 8-point gap is firmly in favor of ICFC. But if you again do the maths, 300 more cap points to go. Still quite a lot of time to spend. Around 2 minutes to go for RISQ before they absolutely need to make a push. But ICFC sitting very deep at their spawn and a bit near C. Is it going to be easy for RISQ to bleed them? I'm afraid not.
I am also afraid not, because ICFC so far is doing a good job of playing the waiting game. Patiently waiting for the mistakes that RISQ might be doing, and we saw one of those coming out of F Silver. Also, I want to highlight that the HP that F Silver right now has is very, very bad. Good shot by Careful into Mozza, who's unable to respond. But that HP on the matchup means that he's a one-clip for TJY, so needs to play very careful as that WZTD does get found in the city here. Good 2 connections coming out from Monkey King.
Great push from ICFC onto Mozza, and now Mozza is out of the fight, and RISQ is now trying to make a counter push, but they're going to push into no man's land. Or I don't know if it's the right term for that, but they are pushing onto nothingness. So that means ICFC have time to regroup and shut down that push. And ICFC has so much HP to spend that they're probably not going to worry about Captain Low being out of this game here.
No, indeed, Nitro now trying to engage on towards Captain Low in that Kranwagen. Eat comes around the corner, punishes that WZTD. However, WWR in the back lines also gets dunked upon. So currently no victims claimed in that engage. Just as I say that, Nitro though going down, and I think ICFC, for them the time has come to press on forward, to press the advantage, to fend off the match point.
Definitely. And Smurfett is now down to 1 shot, and he's down to Eat, while Monkey King, very aggressive. That Rhino goes on tandem with TJY to take out Sugar Mooga, and now he is going to take out Sophia. It's actually Eat instead. 3 versus 7. ICFC committing to that push. They are not afraid of that push at ICFC. They don't have to kill 7 tanks. They will win by cap points. And ICFC, they're not out of this yet.
Indeed, they are not out. They're still very much in it to win it, and they show so beautifully on the first round of Molenbeek. The first round in the match where it truly felt like it was not RISQ, but instead ICFC just always 1 step ahead. And this just goes to demonstrate how important it is to have that cap point advantage ticking in your favor.
But at the same time, I think this is the first battle where we saw RISQ being unusually leaky in the hit points. They lost so many hit points at the start, and Mozza in that WZTD, don't know what happened there, but he's lacking a lot of support, and ICFC really did not hold back. They did not keep on defending. They found a weakness, they continued through that, and they saw RISQ trying to push onto that northeastern corner, rotated back to defend to retain the map control, and I would say ICFC controlled this battle amazingly. And we're going back to Molendijk and RISQ F's over driving the STB1 instead. But TJY, I think he's probably the more consistent bat chat player in this match.
That being
Again.
said, he's had some blunders, particularly Vineyard, where he rammed himself to death. I don't think that was entirely necessary. But yeah, I think overall, ICFC in the past game with a beautiful engage, especially in the city against that singled out WZTD, not the best push to be made. But then again, sometimes you have to, excuse my pun, once again, take some risks. And these did not end up working out for the team on the left here in the past game. However, they are still on match point. And for ICFC, it's still do or die in the upper bracket on Molendijk once again.
For sure. And RISQ, what would they make of this? Sophie back in the WZ113. Will this work for her this time? And ICFC, will they continue to get the cap lead? It works so well for them. They definitely know how to play with cap lead. It's not that they always play with brawling. They can definitely play well when they have the caps. So this time RISQ probably aiming for a big brawl over to that A area, but ICFC aren't sending that, so for us it's good because we don't have to quickly descend into excitement. As ICFC will get C and RISQ will get A, but F server drops into A first, but will we see another tag into C for ICFC? Not the case. So RISQ will get a cap lead and ICFC will be the team that needs to rotate instead.
Indeed, and by the inch of a second here, it's going to be RISQ with the advantage currently in that cap point department. And now Captain Low is going to find Sugu, and ooh, good shot here by the Kranbang of RISQ. Good second one to follow it up. So a bit of HP drain on towards Captain Low here. And all of those tanks by ICFC that did end up getting committed to the city now kind of reshuffling. But obviously, RISQ comfortably holding on to the open side of Molendijk. That's going to be a lot of ground once again to cover. That might translate into HP bleed. And it seems like ICFC in this eastern part of the city on the left of the screen currently, they're kind of hesitant what to do right now. And they should be. Smirt is waiting here for TJ. Doesn't spot him in return, though.
Nope. And again, both teams having one cap and waiting for the other to make a call. Still more than 2 minutes to go for ICFC before they absolutely need to make a call to push. But they don't have to push. They can also kill a tank. But with how RISQ is positioning at the moment, it's not going to be easy for them. So again, you can flip the cap lead back to your favor if you kill a tank, because the team that kills a tank will gain 40 cap points. The team that loses a tank will lose 40 cap points. So you have that 80 cap point gap, which a lot of teams would have a close look at to make sure they can flip the cap point lead back to their favor. But I think ICFC are tentatively pushing the lineup near the spawn, maybe hoping Sophie is isolated in their little area here. But so far they are cautious not to make a call. Not sure it is a call from IC to careful, but they are definitely very careful about this.
Indeed, stakes are high, and that's translating into the gameplay here in between those teams. ICFC under pressure. They need to get a cap, or they need to get a kill without losing anyone. But so far, any attempts to go somewhere kind of thwarted by RISQ, who are playing, a good game of waiting here on Molendijk. Now we see Eat with that WZTD with a couple of blind shots so far, none of them connecting, however. And as the points tick and tick, as the timer goes down, we will have to see an engagement at some point in time. Now Sophie finally getting spotted out by Monkey King, so the team of ICFC is going to be aware what actually spotted them out. But I think RISQ, they have just found their stance here. They have found their positions, and those WZTDs that are both chilling in A at the moment, they are going to be detrimental to anyone that tries peeking out of cover.
At the same time, RISQ, very impressive stuff. Not to lose any hit points at this late stage of the game. It's going to be really important. The ICFC might have to make a huge gamble here, but is that gamble going to be Sophie? But as you see behind her, the TDs, Mossa, Lisa, not going to be easy at all.
No, indeed, and both of them are going to line up with Sophie here, who might be the point of collapse for the team of ICFC that obviously need to be careful to not lose anyone in the push. Still, no damage taken at all by RISQ here, as another shot of damage goes in towards E10. I think ICFC, they have spotted that singular 113 that Monkey King is going to push up on, but instead the focus is going to be on the Kranbang of RISQ here, who does get pushed, but Captain Low taking shots from the back from those WZTs. Nitroglycerin coming in here. Is he going to be able to get the kill as he does? So the kill on Sophie is not going to matter at all, as Eat is also going to bite the dust. RISQ, I think they have just about done it with their waiting game. The positioning absolutely beautiful, but it's not over yet.
It's not over yet because commentator could go down at any moment, but 995 cap points, it's all over with Monkey King out of the fight. RISQ will be in the grand final of the Blitz X Cup, and they will wait for the winner of ICFC versus Rory in the lower bracket final. Huge congratulations to RISQ, as they have earned at least 13,000 more US dollars in this tournament, while ICFC, commiserations, valiant efforts to try and shut down RISQ. I think their main idea here is to kill a tank at the very late stage, trying to flip the cap point back into their favor momentarily, but it didn't happen because RISQ knew what they were trying to do, and they took out those the TDs trying to push in the middle very quickly. Not really double TDs, like double tanks trying to push in the middle very quickly. So impressive stuff from RISQ. They came prepared, and they will go home safe and sound, and they can sleep well for tomorrow.
And as the dust settles here now, we are left with a RISQ in the grand final, and ICFC is going to duke it out in the lower bracket. This day today, did it go according to expectations, or any big upsets for you?
I think the big upset for me would be GB losing to Rory with that scoreline, because we saw how well GB played against RISQ. It was a bit. I feel very sorry for them. It was heartbreaking to see GB losing out on the tie break, but then for them to completely tank against Rory was not something I expect. But you have to give lots of credits to Rory for keeping the calm, knowing that they are the underdogs here and they are not losing their cool at all. So coming into the lower bracket final, they are once again the underdogs, and ICFC will not be an easy opponent for them.
Indeed, ICFC will also have some time to recuperate after a upper bracket finals where, they showed some promise, especially when they were the ones on cap first, but it just seemed like RISQ on a tactical level where just more proficient, I think is the correct word to use here. They were just more aware today, and ICFC just not able to get into their own comfort zone, which was the brawls. And we did, for example, see on Vineyards in the round that they took, when it actually went down to the wire and it was down to brawling, focus fire, penetrating your shots. That is where they did truly shine, and they had some awesome rounds. But RISQ, playing to their own strengths, of course, indeed, playing that tactical approach, just winning out here in that upper bracket final for now. So personally, I'm kind of stoked as to what's going to happen tomorrow, because I thought the matches were super interesting, and especially the first one was an absolute treat to watch. And that being said, thank you very much for having me here on the stream. It was an absolute blast. I think both of us enjoyed our time, and see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward already.
All right, I look forward to tomorrow as well. But before we go, definitely Sophie will be pestering me to play the replay, so we're going to do that now. I will play some replays while we forgot the word. I remember there is a particular word for that. While we depart, probably that's the word for that. While we depart. So yeah, it's been fun co-commentating, and it's been fun watching all of these teams playing at their top level. I would say with a tip, maybe it's a bit of bias for me, to ICFCs to be a bit more aggressive in preventing the cap lead to be obtained right at the beginning, because RISQ, they know how to defend a cap lead.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So I guess, leave you to your replays. I wish you a lot of fun with the rest of the stream. Once again, thank you very, very much for having me. It was an absolute blast. And I guess we'll see each other tomorrow.
We will, definitely. And I think we'll move over to the official stream tomorrow. And yeah, I think there is a lot being prepared tomorrow. So yeah, yeah, great to have you here, Kihan, and good afternoon to you, Dan.
The same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, of course. Sophie, your replay is up, so... This is her playing in the VK72 on Vineyards. I will keep the stream going for some time because I don't know if the timer has stopped yet, but still really, but I will keep on playing for a while. Maybe someone will tell me whether I can stop my stream very soon. Oh, did someone fire? Why did that happen? Okay, so she is going to the C area. And she's low. It's a VK72. Of course she's going to be very slow. She's crawling her way towards C. And yeah. Let's see what's going to happen here. Any spots yet? No. No light tank on her side. And there is an AFK heavy tank to the back side of Sophie, so that's not promising at all. And they have already dropped some hit points. A great shot from what the Blitz dude. Yes, Blitz dude. Okay, she's going to. Oh my god! Emerald, lucky you, Sophie. That was unexpected. Took one from Minotauro, but it's going to be. Is she going to get another Emerald? No, it's not going to be the case. IS was a difficult tank. So Emerald. But poor enemy team, they already lost the tank, and the tank which was originally AFK came back to life. Great shot again over to the IS4. I'm definitely going to show some bat chat replays, so hang on tight. Actually going to get another one. So the IS4, enemy IS4 has been taken out. A Minotauro, wow, that's completely red. She's switching to heat. She's not firing, but she could have fired a shot, but it's not the end of the world if she didn't. She's just going to push in because IS7 is a juicier target for her. And she received a shot from the Minotauro! Second Emerald. She is living for this. She is hyped. What on earth was that? Sophie, already doing 6k thanks to 2 almost full hit points. Emerald scorching the Minotauro. Now is 6 versus 2. Sophie must have taken some of my streamer luck. She got 2 Amoraks. That's illegal. That's illegal. She's going to AG to the backside of Death Star, doing almost 100 HP worth of damage. She's going down. She's going to go for the 50 TP, and mind you, I hope this is going to be another Amorak. If not, then I'll be disappointed. It's not going to be the case, but still, she did more than 8,000 damage. What an amazing game for Sophie. 2 Amoraks in a row. 2 big Amoraks, 8k damage. Good job to Sophie, the captain of RISQ team, heading into the grand final. Congratulations, that was... that was a great one. Well done to you. Fair play. 2 0 damage players doesn't stop Sophie from an eminent, prominent, proficient performance. Exceptional. Okay. Oof. So, we have 4 minutes to go before 3 hours. I don't know if the count is still up here. Let me play my replays. Let's first take a look at the bat chats. I have so many bat chat replays. I will show you the first one, which is a bit of a crazy game for me, but I got a win. So we're going back to the EU server here, because this is what I'm based in. So you can see how aggressive I play the bat chat. If you see, I play a lot of bat chat these days. I think I swat a lot. I generally do not want to play defensive in this one, unless tactically I need to play defensive. And it's a totally different story, but oh my god, oh no! Oh, help me! Oh my god! Oh no, help! No! Oh, I'm so dead. Oh my god. If I got the wrong replay up. Hope not. Hope this is the right replay. I'm already down to 876. Oh no. But the Cobra is going to take a mass roll from me, so I'm going to reload, I think, at this point. No, I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I'm going to reload. I'm not going to be too aggressive in this case. Roll on now. Now I'm just going to see. Oh, Cobra's here. I'm going to hopefully track that tank. Unable to track, but that tank is out of commission. I will send that E75 into panic mode. So yeah, already 2k dealt in this battle. Sicario and in the bat chat, I only realized for now. I only just realized there is a tier 8 tank on both teams. Didn't notice it before, but oh. We're going to have a little bit of a stalemate situation. A bit stagnant gameplay, but E75, will they peek out? I don't know. We will see. IS7. Okay, that's a difficult one. Oh, they missed me. Yes. Oh, that was not a good shot. We lost a tank. Oh, wait, but we killed another one, so it's fine. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm just going to go in. I'm going aggressive. Now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to track that E75. Yes. And I perma-track that. Yeah, I did perma-track that E75. So don't peek out like that. There are consequences associated with doing that move. What do I do now? Okay, I'm just going to go straight in. I don't care about E100 landing a high roll, probably a roll enough to kill me. Am I able to dodge a shell? They didn't shoot, so I'm lucky not to die at this point. Yeah. I thought that was a very aggressive gameplay, but in the end, it wasn't that aggressive, to be fair. I didn't lose so many hit points at the start, but I didn't lose any more after that. That was not a good shot, so I'm sorry. That was embarrassing. embarrassed I am. Another tank is out. That's Lancelot. And I'm going for the I7. Do I reload? I know I don't, because I think I would be. The team's gonna get that tank, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that was not good indeed. How did I get a mastery badge? I don't know, but a mastery badge it is. 5k damage. I think I managed to kill that tank in the end. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Love the bad chat. I heard it is, well, I don't know if I am allowed to say this, but yeah. Bad chat. Lovely tank. Lovely light tank. More than 5k. Absolutely jubilant. Okay. See if I have more. I got a game almost 6k in the bad chat. Let's play this. I don't know how. I don't know. Is it a defensive one? But it's another bad chat. Why not? Winter Mindovka. Me again in the bad chat. Again another mastery. But did I die? I don't know if I died in this one. Yeah. I think you will see me having a fail at the very start in this one. Very embarrassing indeed, but if I did damage, then it is that I was doing damage. I forgot how to take that route up. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not embarrassing myself in front of like 200 odd people watching this stream. So what I do is I do some spots in this bush. That's what a lot of people do in randoms. Oh, I am spotted. Duck, duck, duck. Reset my camo, and sometimes you see me not moving at all, and this is me resetting camo. I think you will reset your camo the fastest if you don't move at all. But absolutely you have to stay safe while doing that. So now I'm going the other way, trying to get some spots for the other side. Spotted the the Death Star. Amazing. The Death Star's not looking at me. I can sneak a shot or two. Only a shot is fine. Going for a drum reload because I don't know where most of the tanks are. So I'm leaving. I am leaving. Oh, is the enemy team trying to push? Maybe. I'm being very passive in this one. And there is a light tank, probably good idea to help them. That 50B is not going to last long. Oh no, there is also a FE405, but I'm going in anyway. The AMX-50B is in deep trouble. But that chap is high on adrenaline. But I'm very sorry to that 50B. They are not going to survive this onslaught. So sorry about that. I'm going for a drum reload. Safety is of paramount importance, unfortunately. But now he was killed that FE405, so that's good. And also the bad chat. It is. So this is not the most exceptional, most exciting gameplay, but at least I did extraordinary damage. Oh, fortunate. Track shot took a hit. Oh, that's fine. Drum reload. Stay safe, reset camo. And wait until I fully reload and come out and get that tank out of the way. And I tried to pick a boom, but it wasn't working. Still fine, not a one shot. Good, yeah, a bit lucky to get that shot in. And yeah, it looks quite comfortable for me, but I do think it's not as comfortable as it is when I'm playing this battle. So yeah. Yeah, it does feel like it's the easy one for me. It's like made for me to get that mastery, but I assure you it's not that easy. Yeah, I'm going to play another replay. I'm going to end this just as the counter stopped counting. Don't know. Alright, I'm going to play the latest bat chat I found. You will receive the keys after a couple of hours. You need to give some time for Wargaming to reimburse you with keys, but why not another bat chat? Why not do another bat chat? This time it's on Black Gold Field, and I think this one I am playing a lot more aggressively. So not as defensive as this last battle, but once again another mastery. This is why tomorrow the APAC teams, please at least take the light tank or heavy tank. Oh, wow, what happened? Yeah, bye, I'm leaving here. Yeah, that chat took so much damage, I did not, and I think I was gambling at this time, see if there's anyone going for that for the caves, and I think I found a pattern going there. And I think that caught me by surprise. Oh yeah, that was the case. Trying to see if I can unleash the entire clip. I think I took one. And I think I was in dire trouble. My ammo rack got hit. Again, that pattern seems to be on high adrenaline. Out they go. Knowing they have misplayed there, I'm just going for a drum reload. Hoping I can put a shot onto that bat chat later on. I think the bat chat is a juicier target, but I don't know how that shot didn't go in. That one did in the end. And I have to run away because, oh, I took a hit on the Object 140. Some poor driving skills on my end, but managed to run away to safety. That Evil 100 is going to be a juicy target for me next. I think I'm also counting whether there are a couple of TDs still looking at where I was supposed to go, so I was a bit cautious not to overcommit. And yeah, now I found that Yargaroo. See if I can sneak a shot. I can't, but I did in the end. Thought they have fired, so that's why I tried sneaking another shot, but that could have been a really catastrophic move from me. Now I'm almost fully reloaded, trying to get into position to not get shot by the Yargaroo, and the full clip I unleashed. I'm going to ignore the Yargaroo at the moment. That tank is a bit of a nasty tank. So my idea is to go for this, to go and support the Strip. Probably not the most, the smartest idea, but that Crown Wagon shot, maybe I can sneak in the entire clip into the Crown Wagon, and I did. Although the last shot bounced. And we lost a tank. Oh no. Strift quite good shot. I'm going to save that Strift if I could. But he could, but they couldn't survive. Now I'm going to... Oh, I can't kill the Rory with my full clip. Hi everyone in the chat. And oh yeah, that's it for me. I believe we have. I believe the counter stopped counting now. Yeah, just lovely battle, another lovely game. I don't think I had any battles with over 6k in the batch hat. I mean, the bar was probably relatively low in that case, but anyways, I think that's it for me. So yeah, once again, Rory will be fighting ICFC in the lower bracket final, and the winner of that will face RISQ in the grand final. I'll be back tomorrow alongside Keyhand. We will plow through the battles. So hopefully you'll get your keys, but if you don't, you still have another chance tomorrow, I heard. And I think I'm allowed to say this, you will earn six more keys. And they're going to be spread at smaller time intervals, so good luck tomorrow. Hopefully you won't get any technical issues. And see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock in Hong Kong time. See you all, and good night on the APAC server. Good afternoon on the EU server. Good morning on the NA server. See you then, and good night.